kind of garbo.
Look.
Going live? Are we actually
Name
live?
this set.
Hello,
There's nothing
YouTube?
I care about in this set.
Are you gonna... Okay, all right. Clock's ticking. All right. Sorry, YouTube took a while to chew over that one. I know we've been having YouTube outages earlier. Hi, hello, welcome to Failed Portrayal. Sorry we're like a minute late. Normally I fired these up earlier, but we were yelling about prog polls. So we did a double week. And it's interesting.
This week was Oh, also I should also mention I pulled 3 Alistair, 3 Invocation, 3 Meltdown.
Hey, pretty good. I'm only at 1 Invocation, but I traded for a second Meltdown, and I natively pulled 3 Alistair. And I have literally 1 of every copy of the Fusions.
I traded for the rest of my things. I just need 2 more Invocations and more Books of the Law.
I mean, you don't... Well, first of all, Axe, you never need Book of the Law.
I like it.
Second of all, you don't actually need multiple Invocation. That's a consistency booster. Alistair...
I think you need 2, personally.
I would like more than just 1.
I mean, I'm going to run it with 1 if nobody else will give them to me, though I can talk to Loth. Like I said, I think I got some Magicians and shit. I don't think Loth's ever going to run an Alistair.
What?
Alistair the Invoker, the best normal summon in the game.
I mean, I think I've got 1 or 2 that I saw him.
I mean, more his accessories, but he doesn't matter. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Now Loth has bogged down my joke by being a buffoon. A bumbaloon.
I sadly don't have any jewelry because all my stuff is different kinds of metal.
Buffoon.
No, a bumbaloon. Or Brimberer. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying before Axe inserted something else that wasn't related? Right, Invocation. I was trying to explain earlier, Invocation, you don't technically need more than 1 because Alistair searches Invocation, Meltdown searches Alistair, and Invocation recycles itself.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
hypothetically...
We're not going to get to experiment with the deck anyway, because Robin has a chip on her shoulder.
I was trying to bring up more the point that, like, I sadly don't have any actual gems in any of the actual, like, jewelry I wear, so I don't have anything directly adjacent.
Yes, I'm calling you out on this live stream, Robin. Suck it.
I mean...
I think more Robin's concern is if we're going to be normal summoning Alistair for the next 5 years, which I will admit I will also be tired of if literally from now until the end of time we'd be normal summoning Alistair.
What if I play Invoke UA?
That's your own choice.
What if we just banned Mechaba and then that's not that good?
I mean, that may or may not happen because Mechaba is the negate, but also it's not... That's just not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about Invoked. Nobody wanted to do something special. We're going to do Gemini.
I've been trying to bring up things about gems and no one gives a fuck.
Well, that's because you're doing weird jokes. You're talking about gems in your jewelry.
No, I'm talking about that. It wasn't even a joke. I was just trying to first.
Well, then it's a very crappy segue. You need to have artful segues. You need to like gently transition in. Here, I'll take you guys off.
Well, that's based off your opinions.
Oh right, I need to pull up the. Nobody's watching right now, but I mean, chat, please, Axe. If Axe did a good segue, let me know. But I have to. Nope, not that. Come on, YouTube, give me.
I guess actually the question is like, what is your birthstone? I guess if anyone knows that nonsense.
Oh, I don't remember.
Diamond.
I don't know what Sagittarius has.
Remember. Well, I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with your.
It's not correlated to astral signs. It's months.
What's December?
Unfortunately, I don't know who rebalanced this, but they got shittier. So I'm gonna take the classical version. My month is Bloodstone. Because they made us actually they made December lame.
Oh, what did they make it like
blue zircon?
No, it's turquoise, zircon, or tanzanite, and then you have to.
Oh, I fucking actually got it right. Holy shit!
But...
I got tanzanite because I remember it being like some weird yellow color.
Yeah, I don't know. There's also like 3 listed. I don't understand how that works.
Look, mine is the easiest.
Oh,
It is the same in every list I watch. It is diamond.
Technically, there is one that is actually based on the zodiac, which is different. So Sagittarius would be topaz. Capricorn is still ruby. How this works, I don't fucking know. Anyway,
is Aries still diamond?
Man, wow, Omega, you actually have a lot of red in all of your celestial bodies.
I got lucky. Mine's
Aries.
Close enough to my favorite color.
In the zodiac mode, Aries is Bloodstone.
Like I said, Omega, you have a lot of red recurringly. I understand now.
Yeah. I mean, I have a funny idea in mind for this stream. I was thinking of pulling up for certain Gem Knights. By the way, we're doing Gem Knights chat. How you doing? I don't even know if there's anybody here. There's like 3 viewers. I think it's all
Also,
of
to
you.
kill the joke, we're not doing Melodious now.
No, probably not. Okay, there's somebody in chat. All right, I'm like.
I mean, I could do it. I'd be down for
Aquarius-
Melodious.
Aquarius is Garnet, funnily enough.
Well,
So,
Garnet's a way prettier stone looking at it, like, honestly. Diamonds are overrated and cause the deaths of millions.
Also,
Don't be
yes,
diamond.
no, I mean, Dallas, if you want me to put on my tinfoil hat for a second, let me talk to you about how diamonds are fake news. They are a literal conspiracy.
Here's the thing, though. They aren't anymore. But up until literally the early 2000s, diamonds were fucking useless.
Well, yeah.
You can literally, you're literally going to learn how to use diamond dust. Yeah.
But now certain laser technologies.
Well, yeah, synthetic
things.
diamonds are very valuable because diamond is a carbon compound, a pure carbon crystal, which is, literally one of the hardest known substances in the universe. So it's very cool.
So apparently mine symbolizes innocence and love.
Then I have a question that is like, then what's the point of black diamonds and blood diamonds then if they don't have any use?
Blood diamonds actually refers to conflict diamonds, Axe.
Yeah, blood diamonds isn't a type of diamond. It means a lot of people died to mine this.
Okay,
black diamonds, technically,
diamonds.
that's what the technical term for that is carbonatum, I think. Basically, a black diamond has even more higher density of carbon.
I
so
thought it was a type of ski snoop.
That's also. It's
Also,
even
that
more
actually
hard.
hurts.
Like, I think technically Carbonado is like Mohs scale 11, even though it doesn't go to 11 or some
There's
shit.
also like fucking diamond carbon nanofiber bullshit.
Yeah, carbon is cool. But before we knew any of that science bullshit,
diamonds were useless.
yes, they were clear, so nobody thought they were any interesting. It wasn't until the advent of electric lighting at the start of the 20th century and an extensive psyops campaign by the De Beers Corporation.
Evil British people.
I've never heard of that.
You didn't? Wow, I'm shocked you haven't heard that.
I don't know the name of De Beers.
So
yeah,
De
the De
Beers-
Beers Diamond Cartel.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're not literally the cartel, but yeah, De Beers Diamond Company.
They might as well be.
They did all the stuff of like, diamond engagement rings, emphasized diamonds in electric lighting because they would sparkle. All these other kinds of reasons why you think you need to buy a diamond. It is all
Basically,
just psyops.
Evil capitalist British people.
Yeah. Prior to that, the advent of electric lighting, colored gems were way more valuable because they were colorful.
Oh my god. Wait, no, Omega, this is actually breaking news.
What's up?
What?
The loner decks in the event are good.
What?
But what are they?
Is that allowed?
Stardust, Synchron, Speedroid, and Virtual World.
What?
Those are actually those are types. What do extra decks look like?
What?
Shit.
You know the new Stardust stuff? And the new Speedroid stuff?
Yeah, it's Junk Speeder, like Excel Synchron, Jet Warrior, Shooting Star
does it have all the new
TG.
Speedroid stuff? Does it have all the synchro?
I mean, Shooting Star TG is new.
I mean, yeah, like these actually, like, of course they're not like meta versions of these decks, but compared to the last two events, this is these might as well be top tier decks. Okay, no, it's not Virtual World. It's Fleur Synchron, which is not.
I mean, that has.
Okay, this one's kind of bad.
I mean, Baroness de Fleur is a payoff.
I mean, yes, it has 2 copies of Baroness de Fleur, but the rest of this deck looks awful.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's all
three.
about your. I mean, even then, if you just play Baroness Turbo, that's a legit strategy. Anyway, we got distracted by talking about De Beers Corporation, and that thing with the Master Duel is what we got distracted by before. We managed to vamp for 10 minutes and Martha's now joined us, but we're going to talk about Gem Knights today. So, Gem Knights are weird.
Hey, Mark.
As David, who is too busy playing Bloodstained to be here, yes, I will dob him out.
No, I think he told me he left away, but also David does not read or not respond to any
That's
messages.
true.
You ever give
I don't
him
think he
ever.
pays attention to pings, so he'll just have to realize we're streaming, I guess. I don't know.
Literally, I think you have to literally shoot an arrow at him to actually understand what your message is.
I almost didn't catch the ping, but I
Like
did
fucking. Well, I like double pinged you because I specifically was like, I just need to figure out.
I wasn't even at my computer. I just happened to check my phone.
Well, let's test this theory.
I just
Wow,
happened to
alright,
check my
okay.
phone.
I mean, I
support
feel like
this.
David's got to slide in here and be like, hey, what did I do to you?
What'd that do?
Everything. You know what you did.
You know this is recorded for posterity, Axe.
I'm laughing at this. I'm laughing at my own.
But David did make the joke
thing,
earlier that
David.
technically Gem Knights is an anime archetype because Arc 5 is weird, guys.
I don't know.
Summoning ritual has worked.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
It turns out literally trying to punch Dave in the face is what he responds to.
I mean, just the pig I think would have worked. I don't think Locke had to tell him "fuck you."
I mean, he's been he's
yeah,
been
no,
ping
I
before
was-
and he ignored it.
I heard the ping.
It's fine. We're technically the stream has been going for 10 minutes, David, but I have only just now started describing Gem Knights, so you're fine.
Okay.
Anyway, Gem Knights are a dual terminal archetype. They first, the first cards were in like Photon Shockwave, but you know what I mean, right? Like they first started showing up in Hidden Arsenal sets 5 through 7, so they're part of the tail end, our second gen. And also, there was a character, I believe a minor one, but there was a character who played Gem Knights in Arc 5 and gave some support to the Melodious chick, which means, yes, you will see a couple of Melodious crossover cards. Because anime.
Because Arc 5 is weird.
Yes, that's
I as the resident Arc 5 defender in this podcast, or thing, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything against Arc 5 because I haven't sat down and watched it myself.
Also, the character that played Gem Knights looked like Nagatoro fucked a Shizu.
Okay, so
That
we're gonna
is,
start with an interesting
Nope,
one.
that's not the right card.
There are a couple of gems which are not Gem Knights but are relevant. So I wanted to bring up
Oh, Jesus
Gem
Christ!
Turtle.
No, hey, oh my
because
god,
it
no,
name
I have
checks
to
something.
bring this up.
What's up?
What do you think the name of the person that played Gem Knights is?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
I'm willing to bet something like Sapphire, Ruby, some gem name pun.
I mean, yes, but how much of a Gem Knight? Name
All
pun?
of the Gem Knight
Oh,
pun, 200%.
Marine.
You are correct. Julia Crystal.
Ah,
Of course.
That is
goddamn
terrible. That is,
dub names.
I
That gave
feel,
me physical pain.
I like
didn't feel,
it. I don't know.
I didn't feel the pain, but I
It's
felt like some
not-
kind of gut reaction.
Here's the reason I like it. Here's the reason I like it. Because unlike a lot of these dumb, like, Batman villain style names, at least this is a real person's name.
Yeah, I could
Yeah,
buy it, but it also
true.
sounds like an abusing stage name.
I mean, funnily enough, most gemstones are actually acceptable as names for humans.
Like, Edward Enigma is not a last name. I
again,
don't care.
it
Fuck
feels
you.
like it's an alien. It always feels like an alien.
Enigma Ball.
That
Lot of
is
complicated.
uncomfortably close to
Ligma.
yeah, I was gonna say
I
to a
was
name
thinking-
there.
No, he's talking about the Riddler.
Yeah,
Riddler made
Edward
this Batman?
Like,
I promise, I'm always the weird people that like Detective Enigma, but that's me.
I mean, I like the Riddler's.
Please, let's not go in a tangent about
Let's not-
Batman
anyway,
villains. We
that was-
have
I was gonna
so
say the
many of
one-
these guys.
And then I was gonna say the one line move on. That was it.
What about sexy anime Riddler?
But
not going
Dallas
there.
is going. The problem, Axe, is you just wanted to like.
triggered Dallas.
Axe, you just wanted to move the ball a couple of yards. The problem is Dallas going to take that ball. He's going to run it all the way to the end.
That was eating the ball. He's eating it. It's all. It's
He's
every. It's
going to
pieces
devour the
everywhere.
ball. Gem Knights. So I have brought up Gem Knight Fusion, which is also our thumbnail image, and Gem Turtle because Gem Turtle interacts with Gem Knight Fusion. Art-wise, for Turtle, I don't believe there is a lot we need to talk about. It is a
I have
turtle who is
Emerald
also a
Tur-
gem.
I have a
This
weird
is
technical
Emerald
speculation.
Tortoise at home.
I have a technical speculation question. Would
Yeah.
the same Crystal Beast artist also the one that worked on this?
I mean, we wouldn't know, but possible. They definitely have very similar vibes to
No, the
Beast.
Crystal Beasts are more human looking than the turtle. That looks
think
like a turtle.
artist-wise.
turtle.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically what we know about Gem Knights in Dual Terminal is they're guys with like power gems to punch guys.
Yeah.
Also, it's Steven Universe. We can't avoid this.
I mean, I haven't actually
Kinda,
watched
yeah.
Steven Universe because I don't know when that's streaming.
But they're
Probably
gem,
also did before that,
They're
though.
gem people that fuse.
Yes, this technically came out first, but they are a fusion archetype that involves people who seem to be, at the very least, have gem-based armor, if not actually are literal gem people.
I mean,
because-
considering some of the proportions of their limbs, I think they're entirely
Well,
made of-
also, funnily enough, so remember how we had this confusion about Lavals being mostly warriors? Gem Knights have a mixture of types. They are not usually warriors. Most of them are rock. A couple of the elemental ones are like pyro,
Thunder,
aqua,
pyro.
thunder, etc.
Yeah, they're usually thunder, pyro, aqua, or rock.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, kind of.
So
elements.
we can assume these may actually be literal rock people with elemental powers.
I think there might be one warrior, if I remember correctly.
Possibly. We'll see if we get there. So Turtle, I mean, art-wise, I don't think there's anything to say about Turtle. I think Gem Knight Fusion is pretty good as far as, like, riffs on the basic polymerization aesthetic go. Right? Like, it's poly, but they've drawn some Gem Knights and we got some gems.
I think the one I like more, comparatively, I think is like the latest fusion card that came out. Not for Gem Knights, but like the one that's like fuse 3 at once. Like I think it's like mega polymerization. I always like that art.
Greater polymerization. But yeah, there's
like
a lot
one,
of
but...
there is an archetype of polymerization art of which this is part of. It also looks similar to how Miracle Fusion is drawn. You also cannot avoid the, especially with how fucking many Gem Knights there are. I believe I have 32 main deck monsters in my list.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking Gem Knights. Now, that does include the 3 brand new ones that aren't even out yet that are announced, so we know their effects. But yeah, hero comparisons will also be unavoidable. So does anybody have anything nice to say to this Turtle or to this Fusion card?
I like.
I like Gem Knight Fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have that turtle as a pet.
Yeah.
So I had the weirdest thought.
Oh right, I realized I have
The background the turtle's on it makes you think if it's like it's gonna be an Olympus title card.
It looks like an anime opening. The background, or for Gem Knight Fusion, it looks like an anime prophecy.
Like Maggie, you know what I'm talking about? It looks like an Olympus title card in the background there.
I mean a little, but it's not really. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my chat overlay because I realized I still didn't do that. I was in the middle of doing that, and then that was either the Batman conversation or one of the other conversations.
We have a lot of conversations.
We've already done several tangents. Let's get the ball rolling. Okay, so what these do? Gem Turtle is very simple. This is a level 4 Earth Rock. It has 0 attack, 2k defense. Turtle. It is a flip monster. Its flip effect is add a Gem Knight Fusion from your deck to your hand. So, keeping in mind this did come out in Photon Shockwave in 2011, it's not the worst fusion searcher in the world. It's got a fat booty, you know. We are in the mid to late synchro, edging towards Xyz. Yeah, I would say 11 is probably late synchro. So your opponent may not have a turn 1 big bungus who can just run over Gem Turtle. It's an okay setup. Obviously, there are faster options now, but he exists. What the fuck?
Oh, my phone's going off.
Okay, that's Loth. I was like, oomst?
I was like, the fuck?
How on earth? So, Gem Knight Fusion, it's an archetype fusion. There are a few of those. We've seen some of them. It is a normal spell card. It reads, Fusion Summon 1 Gem Knight Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or your side of the field as fusion materials. Pretty standard stuff. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 1 Gem Knight monster from your graveyard, add this card to your hand. This tells you what you need to know about Gem Knights. They are all about looping and stacking them fusions, and also, feel free to banish your monsters from the graveyard. You don't need those motherfuckers. What's that? Fusion materials? Get them out of here. They're useless to me now.
But also, actually, though...
Is this one of the first cards that, like...
I assume at this point you've gone over... Well...
Oh, no, nothing. We haven't done anything. This is literally it.
I had to ask...
What's up?
I was going to ask if this is one of the first cards that, like, I think at the era of this point was about... The first one actually, like, did, like, fling from deck. Was it the first ones that did this?
No, this one does not send from deck. This is Handerfield.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You may be thinking of Brilliant Fusion, which comes later, but...
Is that one of the first one that did that? I forget.
I don't think Brilliant Fusion was one of the first, no.
I think...
Because Red Eyes Fusion came out about the same time.
I think Shaddoll Fusion was first.
Yeah, Shaddoll Fusion I believe was first, with the technical caveat of you need circumstances. So we're going to power through the Gem Dash monsters I could find that are directly Gem Knight related really quick. This is Gem Elephant. You've probably never seen him this close.
This is Amber
Mammoth.
This
is bad art.
Home.
Yes, this is Amber Mammoth at home. This card is also bad, by the way.
Well, technically, have you guys ever had the situation of when they make a second version of something, it's shittier because it's cheaper?
This is literally
that way,
like
instead of saying it home because it means you didn't.
this is the design principle of modern Japanese and video games. Of they redesign things, and if they put more plating and random spikes on it, it's cooler, right? It's like Gundam design principles.
I think
Just
everybody's.
right.
It's that whole. Hey, holy shit! We have a new engine. We have new rendering options. We can add more pixels to this. And it's like you don't need to add more pixels. Okay, it's fine. Why is he so?
I've just noticed it more in, like, Japan and the U.S. went different way. Japan went, I'm gonna add a bunch of shit onto this, and the West went, we're gonna experiment with weird face capturing technology that makes everyone uncomfortable.
I mean, the other joke I would make is these guys were a pain in the ass to fight in Horizon Forbidden West. Because he's even got the big gem belly for some reason.
Oh god, he does have the fucking belly.
Yeah. He absolutely looks like a terror tusk. Now, there's a reason why you've never, ever seen this man ever this close. This is a level 3 rock effect. It has 400 attack and 1900 defense. During your main phase, you can return this face-up card on the field to your hand. During damage calculation, if this card attacked or was attacked, you can send one normal monster from your hand to the graveyard. This card gains 1000 defense. Why it does that if this card attacks, I don't fucking know. Gemini Elephant is bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can only assume that they were literally throwing out a dartboard for this guy.
Now, luckily, this is not in a hidden arsenal. This is a common in Generation 4, so it's like treated appropriately. But yeah, this card is not good. I don't know why you would need to return him to your hand, because Gemini Fusion works on field.
Embarrassment.
Yeah. It's like they read Honest and they failed to understand what makes Honest good.
Because, like, I don't know if this is a joke or not, but like Yu-Gi-Oh is defined by hand tricks.
Now,
I mean, modern
especially,
Yu-Gi-Oh certainly.
Yeah.
Even that.
Even then, this was the era of shit like Kalut and Valor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the problem is that he honests, but for defense.
And only for himself. He sends other normal monsters where they can't be used. Like,
so it's a reverse honest for defense. So like it assumes that the only thing that he would be good for is if you're trying to set up your graveyard with your vanillas to do Gemini stuff.
And that's you can do that. That's not really
Better ways of
necessary.
doing it.
Yeah, it's a weird support card. This is Gem Merchant. Who this black mage ass motherfucker?
No, hey, look, it's Ghost Black Mage.
He once cast a bolt spell this big.
I don't know why, but his left hand, the fingers look a bit funky compared to the other one.
The perspective is a little like weird. He does.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just angled. Yeah,
Well,
he's at a weird angle. Because you can.
Am I wrong in thinking this is this thing just
See
looks
this?
like a
Can't see that over
2007 MMO kiosk merchant?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's
those
sad
vibes.
how correct you are with that.
Yeah.
Like, no, absolutely. He's a literal gem merchant. This is the guy, if you were playing the Gem Knights MMORPG, he would be there to sell you more character
The dual
slots or
terminal.
some
This
shit.
is the merchant in like
Yeah.
the Gem Knight area.
So this is a Earth Spellcaster level 3,
As
1k,
opposed to
1k.
My Valentine.
During the damage step, in either player's turn, when a face-up Earth normal monster you control attacks or is attacked, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. That monster gains 1000 attack and defense till the end phase. So Gem Merchant literally does what I think Elephant was supposed to do, but better.
Yes.
So Gem Merchant actually, like, not the full Kalut, not the first Honest, but he lets you beef up your normal boy Gem Knights, probably, hypothetically. Because those guys are all Earth, and the original ones are normal monsters. So it
What I'm
lets you
hearing
actually do
is-
some moves.
Capitalism over elephants.
Yeah. Capitalism did defeat the elephant's law. That's true.
Capitalism defeats us all.
Okay, so we're going to go alphabetically now. This is, Hidden Arsenal 5. Let me gallery up for this, and I will pull up Gemnit.
I mean,
Alexandrite.
I was gonna say capitalism is what enables Yu-Gi-Oh? Question mark?
Yes. There's no socialist Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sometimes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
You gem kniggets.
this is Gem Knight Alexandrite.
Okay, don't say it that way, Loth. That sounded very wrong.
Like you're an Aussie, but we can't get away with that.
You can't
But
quote
also-
Monty Python?
Yeah, I was gonna say
can.
that's literally
Oh.
him quoting Monty
I
Python.
haven't seen Monty Python in a while.
I've seen Monty Python.
I can understand Dallas's concern because it
I
does
thought you were
sound.
saying. I thought you were gonna say a hard word.
No.
I think I gotta... Let me see if I can do... So
Okay,
here's-
so looking
here's
at the
my-
VC here, the two people above me are dumb as fuck.
I haven't seen Monty Python in a while.
I have not seen the one where that bit's from.
You silly English kniggets.
Yeah, it's from the Holy
It's
Grail.
from
Oh,
I'm
Holy
hot
Grail.
in your
I
general
never heard-
direction.
I never heard
Your
that.
father was a hamster. No, your mother was a hamster.
Yeah,
Your
I never
father
remembered
smelled
that.
of elderberries.
I've never remembered that line. I always remember the other lines.
Boy, every single line is a banger.
Yeah.
Look, this might be blasphemous, and Omega might kick me from the call. Holy Grail was always my least favorite Monty Python movie.
I mean, out of the
Fair.
I mean, Holy Grail is like quotable top to bottom. As a movie, the fact that they literally ran out of money in real life and have to end it, it's not a great film. Like their later projects are a lot more
even
put
for
together.
quotability, I don't think it holds up to some of their other movies.
Okay,
It would be
so I
interesting to
mean,
see
that's
which
fair.
quotes you find more quotable, but we're not here to
need
talk about
derail
Monty
us from
Python.
this.
This is Gemini Alexandrite,
We
and
took him to Jehovah.
here is the cool thing I have done. On your left now, you can see actual Alexandrite, which does come in a variety of shades. The greenish blue and the purplish the most common, but like if you Google it, there's actually a lot. There's like they call it daylight and incandescent, so there's like usually a purplish or pinkish and then a bluish or greenish kind. But yeah.
Something about this guy just looks off, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
His half a JoJo pose is not very impressive.
Yeah. He didn't go full JoJo pose.
Like
with
I
JoJo
think his pose is he's like squaring up on you, but it looks mostly like
Definitely half of a stand pose.
Yeah.
it looks like he's trying to just find somewhere to sit down.
Look, I think this is actually legitimately a JoJo pose, but I can't say which one it is because it's a spoiler.
He forgot how to sit down.
For which
I,
part?
Gemini Alexandrite, have already touched the doorknob.
A part that is currently not currently airing, but is halfway through airing.
Oh, so you said it was okay.
Six,
Part 6.
Part
Okay.
6.
Yeah.
Still moving. Okay.
Anyway, so Alexandrite, anything other than his weird posing we want to talk about?
Only thing I can think of right now is the gem on his chest sort of looks like it has a monster inside, but that's just according to the shadow and cleaning effect, so it's just that.
Yeah, I mean, he's very sparkly. They've done the multicolor thing, which I think is relevant. I find it a little... Oh, well, it's not that weird. There are a lot of historical armors like that. The fact that he's got, like, the hint of, like, fake abs is a little weird. Like,
Yeah.
he's just got the tummy tuck, considering that, like... But otherwise, he's just a guy in armor. We may be saying that one a lot, by the way, guys. He's just a guy in armor.
He's got a pointy helmet.
Yeah, and he's got pointy gloves. He's gonna fuck you up. I'm coming to punch you. Except he's not,
Wait.
because when you normal summon Alexandrite, he gets the fuck out of the way. What, Loth?
He's got spikes coming out of his shoulder pauldrons, and also what looks like spikes coming out of his elbow as well.
He's very edged. Makes sense. He is based on a gemstone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they're people made of gemstone, then this is one of those cases where I'm not necessarily gonna mind it as bad, as long as it doesn't get...
Yeah, this guy is still a rock, so...
Yeah.
Alright, so Gemini Alexandrite is a level 4 Earth rock. He has 1800 attack, 1200 defense, so decent stat line for what we're dealing with here. And its effect is, you can tribute this card, special summon one Gemini normal monster from your deck. So obviously, the primary idea that they probably had when they did this was so you could special summon specifically one of the 3 normals, who we will be pulling up shortly. They're a little further down the list. But Garnet, Sapphire, and Tourmaline are normal Gemini monsters, so this lets you fish out the specific fusion materials you need for a fusion.
Yes.
The main thing you actually do with this is because there is a level 7 vanilla Gem Knight who is decently statted, Gem Knight Crystal. He's in the second wave, so we'll talk about him later. But he is a normal monster who's level 7, so Alexandrite lets you skip all those steps and just go straight to Crystal. And is actually, like, for the cost of 1 normal summon and activating a monster effect, decent. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next Gem Knight in our first batch alphabetically. Let me just double check. This is the correct one, right? Yes. Yeah, okay, this was in Photon Chakra. So technically this actually came out first, but, you know, I'm not going to be too fussy. So, this is Gem Knight Emerald. By the way, as far as I can tell, there is no consistent name theming with the Gem Knights. They are just named after whatever gemstones they feel like.
Yeah.
Like, Emerald is a main deck guy, Sapphire is a main deck guy, Ruby, which, by the way, if you don't know, rubies are literally the exact same crystal structure as sapphires. It's the same chemical composition. Mm-hmm. It's just different trace elements make them different colors. They're both corundums, which is aluminum oxide, I think. So Ruby is a fusion monster, Sapphire is not. So there's not like any like basis for this other than we thought it sounded cool.
Wait a second.
What's up?
This guy has cat ears for a part with his helmet. Or at least it looks like it.
I probably didn't mention in the previous one, I still actually like the way the armor is designed.
Yeah, the armor, at least in these early couple, I don't know if that'll stay true for the rest of it, but
Tourmaline is a bit...
most of the armor designs I remember from the early ones are kind of, you know, fairly okay. They're a little relaxed.
This is Emerald.
Yeah, this is Emerald. He's green. He's relaxed. He's got a weird saw blade and or wind gun arm.
Dallas and Axe, he's got Tatoba's disc thing on his arm.
He does, and that bothers me incredibly.
No, not Tatoba, Tajador.
I mean,
like, they're both discs, and it's like, eh.
He's gonna put
I like you guys actually
like the
Kamen
design
Rider
stuff.
references. I'm just thinking, this motherfucker looks like a Mega Man enemy. Like, this is Airman or Windman in, like, Battle Network or something.
Look, either works.
I haven't played Mega Man.
Still haven't.
You would think, except that I'm pretty sure they just use Airman from 2 for that.
Maybe actually Mega Man X.
No, he's not. Well, actually, I mean,
No,
I guess he
that-
does have cat ears. He could be an X. The main thing about X is all the Maverick kind of bosses were, it was, you know, adjective animal.
I thought the main thing about X was he was going to give it to you.
I mean, he will when you get all those extra armors.
He's gonna take it from him.
Magma Dragoon. Shout out to anybody in chat who gets that joke. Anyway, Emerald. He's green. Like an emerald.
It's very green.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, other than a couple of the funny aspects, like Loth pointed out, the cat-like ears, and even you can argue the cat-like smile in his visor. Yeah, he's armor. He's clearly supposed to be a wind guy. Guess what? They're all Earth. Doesn't matter. But
I'm gonna say hold on. Let me go check my stack of cards.
I do appreciate 2 parts of this design, which is the shin guards, and I'm guessing part of the shoulder pauldrons.
yeah.
The clear wind design with them,
Mm-hmm.
and
So,
the
sorry.
yes. No,
No,
go on, David.
No,
Oh,
you
no,
were in the
you-
middle of something. David thought you were done. You took a pause.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah,
I
know.
said 2 things, and I said the one. No, the head helmet tassel. I believe that's what it's called. Whatever that is.
Something like that, yeah. There's a couple of different names for that. Also, Loth. Are you expecting somebody in the Goop Troop to count?
No.
I was
Correct.
waiting
them
till
to
I was
be
waiting till Loth was
respectful.
done.
I've been counting.
Anyway.
Speaking of counting, there is a 3rd card that should probably be up here because we've gone over him already in a
Oh,
previous episode. Daigusto Emerald.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Well, we did talk about him already, so I don't know if we'll directly mention him again. But we might bring up... When did that guy actually come out? Let me double check.
think he comes
Hidden
out later.
Arsenal 7.
I probably don't
But,
spell that. No, okay, here we go.
Shout out to Daigusto Emerald, who becomes a wind type.
Yeah, so he wasn't until 7, but...
I mean, it's
His dream
probably
comes true.
fairly obvious that I think that he's Majigima.
I mean, here, let me just, because we're talking about it, I will just take a second to pull up his... Oh, no, I won't do that way. Well, I mean, I guess we don't need the background. I can grab his Duel Links art really quick rather than go through, like, a whole rigmarole to find his art, because he's from later. It's a little small, but we're getting a crowded screen. But, yeah, so... don't mind my transparency, but this is... Sorry, I'm trying to find a good place to hide him. There you go.
Oh yeah, I can see that as like.
Yeah.
He keeps the discs.
So, Emerald is definitely just Emerald, but with more gubs.
Yeah.
It's like same helmet design. He's got bigger discs.
He got a clasp.
To
On
bring
the
up
chest
an,
plate just bulges outwards.
to bring up an earlier conversation, he is biggest discus.
Biggest discus, yes.
I will say I at least like for like Emerald here, or is that all the background feeds into like all of like the actual like small details to like his arms and like.
Yeah, they do a good effect of the wind speed lines to like draw your attention towards him. So, Gemini Emerald is a effect monster. He is not on vanilla. Level 4 Rock Boy, Earth, obviously. 1800 attack, 800 defense. You can banish this face-up card you control and one normal monster you control to target one Gemini fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it from the graveyard. So basically, the idea is that Emerald lets you recover a fusion monster in a fusion-type way. You still need 2 mats in order to get a fusion back. I don't think it's super good because they both have to be face-up on your board,
Yes,
which means you
and
need 2 summons.
Unlike some contact fusions, they're banished.
Well, several contact fusions also banished, but
I
the
said
main thing-
some contact.
The main thing is that he recovers from your graveyard with him and another normal monster on the field. That means you're wasting extra summons. It's just a little slow. A little slow.
Yeah.
So I do not believe Emerald was ever super popular. All right. Well, now we get to talk about a funny one. The one you all know. This card made such an impression, though not for like 3 more years, until another certain card comes out that we'll be discussing.
But he still gets name checked to this day.
Yes, but his impact was so great that you have probably, even if you don't know what this card is, if you follow Yu-Gi-Oh! Like how people talk about decks, you have probably heard his name.
Yeah, he is a card so influential. He created a term.
It also
It's
goes to
Gemini Garnet.
it also goes to a whole thing about how, to the very end of time of Yu-Gi-Oh, since like I think the beginning of since people could actually being of running 3 cards in a deck, 3 of us card in a deck you want to see, of people cramming things into a deck as a side engine because they can. Because they think.
I mean, they've literally always done that. Yes.
Yeah.
Just the main thing is, so this is Gemini Garnet. If you don't know why people call Garnet a Garnet, Brilliant Fusion we're going to talk about later, but Brilliant Fusion only sends from deck.
Yeah.
So you want this guy in your deck, you don't want him to draw. If you draw him, he is a dead card, unless you can put him back.
The thing about though is they also usually put him in the deck because he had because his stat line at least makes it if you draw him he's still.
Well, yeah, it's funny, as Axe did bring up. The reason why you played Garnet as opposed to any of the other normals is because he is a 1900 beater. No deep
Which
shocker
is
there
not
right now.
The worst
No.
thing ever, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is usable if the game state allows.
So, yeah, at the very least, if you do draw him, and we will pull up an actual Garnet. There you go. You will notice that the actual Garnet gemstones are a much deeper red, normally. There are some orangey ones, but... And technically there are like some green and yellow ones, but the usual kind you've probably seen are more of that dark red.
It's the thing of I think it might be that there's meant to be As you can see, there's a blue glow around them, but it's lighter because there's light behind them.
Well, it's not because of light behind him. It's probably because his fist is on fire. Because you can see the shadow. Hold on, let me make sure I'm in the right space. You can see the shadow contrast like bright to like dark on the opposite side. So it's because his fist is on fire. He's still a very light shade of like almost pinkish or orangish red. But yeah, so Garnet is infamous to this day. People will call certain cards that are dead draws Garnets because you run them to run your engine, which makes your deck function. But if you draw them before you actually do your engine part, they are not, either they are outright useless or they are not as useful as, I don't know, a starter. Actually, aesthetically, I mean, I like Garnet. I do question what the fuck is going on with his left hand.
The thing with Garnet is combined with Emerald, I'm just questioning what the theme is. Because Emerald went way more the Sentai route. Like, there's no other way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Whereas Garnet is clearly going for the royal medieval knight aesthetic. So I'm getting a little bit of mixed.
I mean, the main thing seems to be they have armor that is both color-coded and thematically coded. Garnet has little flames on his visor and on his forehead and on his like chest plate, even down to his knee pads. He's got little flame shapes on his gauntlets. He also clearly has elemental powers. That seems to be the main thing we're going for, but you are right in that stylistically, the armor designs are not necessarily super unified, and you may think to yourself, is it plate mail, just plate mail? No.
No.
I always took that Emeralds more look like Wuxia, like Chinese-style armor.
No, it doesn't.
Not real.
No?
Not at all.
The headpiece.
As someone who no. I reject you.
So
I know more about Chinese armor than any of you will ever know.
The top tassel is something that you usually see in those kinds of
Chinese armor, but
in the like you do see that kind of top tassel, but no, not in this kind of like full box helmet.
Hey,
with the
I'm gonna take an axe to the anime industry for a second. Japanese designs of Chinese armor are awful.
I think that's what they were going with.
Like they are non-accurate as hell.
Listen, nobody actually does armor accurately these days.
True, but I'm just saying, even the like at least they got like samurai and knights semi-looking what they're. If you look at ancient Chinese armor versus what they show in like romance, like I'll say older anime, they've gotten better about it recently, but like early 2000s anime or video games, it is like these are. Like, look at early Dynasty Warriors.
I mean, I'll definitely say, I think there is an issue pre-Web 2.0 where just, like, if you wanted to find fucking visual sources and shit for your, like, animation or drawing designs, you had to, like, go to libraries and find the right textbooks.
Counterpoint to that, China's next door.
Yeah, but, Dallas, the China and Japan haven't been on talking
That's
terms
very
since the
fair.
40s.
I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Most media is post-40s. Oops.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, China and Japan don't get along anymore, if they ever, technically, considering it. Well, I mean, I guess you could argue they used to get along because a lot of, like, classical, like, very early Japanese culture heavily drew from Chinese culture, but anyway.
You're gonna tell me that two ultra-nationalist cultures don't get along? Shock horror!
But yeah, Garnet has a slightly different armor type. I mean, we can all tell they're wearing shorts at least. They got their bike shorts on. I do say there's some weirdness. Like, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think Garnet's got to be asymmetric because he's got, like, a big bulky glove on his right punch and fire fist, and then he's got his fucking bendy arm. That's very uncomfortable. I just did the gesture he's doing. That, my elbow doesn't like that. So he's a little weird. He also, I'm not gonna say it's not likely, but like this fucking double teeth thing he's got going on his visor, a little overkill. Garnet.
That's what makes me think this.
It has to distract you from his broken hand.
This is what makes me think that this is all vaguely going off of Sentai designs because just everything's a little OTT.
Yeah, and the like. Not quite double, but definitely the, like, inset mouth that may also have other things hanging down over it is also a classic of a lot of Sentai helmet designs.
Yeah. So I think they were going with. I think they're going with Sentai.
I mean, that would
designs.
make sense considering they are strongly color coded and elemental coded.
Yeah.
And
It might honestly, it might not have even been conscious.
the fact that they wombo combo into guys can also be like, that's not explicitly a Sentai thing, but can work.
That's true.
But so Gemini
You
Garnet
are
is
the makers
a
of it.
level 4, 1900 attack, 0 defense, pyro normal. He is still an earth pyro, but he's a pyro because he's fire elemental.
The most played pyro in any competitive level.
Yep, because he's part of the engine.
He's part of an engine that was part of the game for like 10 years.
Well, so the fire is in his fist, because I would like to read you his flavor text. It says, the Gemini warrior who carries the Garnet Soul. That's a proper noun, by the way. That's capitalized. His flaming iron fist crushes all enemies.
Okay, this is definitely a Sentai.
Yeah, no. So he has a special attack name. His flaming iron fist.
Yeah, no, this is some. Yeah.
I will also say, so that sounds to me like the whatchamacallit,
Gem change, Garnet.
Garnet Soul, right? The fact that that's a proper noun and he's the one with the Garnet Soul, I think that's talking about like their various power stones or power sources or whatever. So this is the Gemini who has
with an awesome power.
the Garnet Soul, which does that thing.
Burning grip.
I now image like weird rock golems that like screaming gem chain something.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Have you seen? They have a lot of fusions. Ooh, this will be good. Let me get this art up close. Let's look at another normal boy. Any final thoughts to Garnet before he goes away? I'm sure we may or may not talk about him later when we explain how Brilliant Fusion works. Because
I mean, I like his armor.
We
Like,
got it.
I still like the way it's designed, even though it's very much cool.
It's time for our next one. Gemini Saphire.
Or again, on a card art, he looks like he has inhuman proportions, but now on look, it actually looks like he just has a weird headpiece.
Oh no, I don't like this art at all.
This reminds me. What?
Articulate, please.
I could tell you what this is.
This art looks fishy to me.
Someone took a Stretch Armstrong doll of a Halo grunt and bleached it.
Wow, that's a very specific analogy, Dallas.
Am I wrong though?
He has similar armor to what Garnet does, so like same base kind of armor, but the extra like also the same kind of like. design bits.
I mean, kind of, but kind of not. Like this guy's armor is much more rigid in design. Like he's got the huge high collar and the high top. It's like
it's also got like teardrop cutouts on it, like
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got droplet-like effects. Obviously, he has his water elemental powers coming out of his hands, which he's using to
Yeah.
stop
blocking
ice
like
and
fire
all that.
attacks. I think.
Yeah, the water elemental effect looks like Silver, which actually reminds me about the Land of the Lustrous effect thing they did. with
Yeah,
some of
this
the
does
things.
look like we did some. I was thinking it looks a little bit
Just
like a weird
without-
CG filter.
Just without too much CGI.
He looks like a bad guy from Power Rangers Turbo dipped in mercury.
Yeah, but it took out the worst part of the Land of the Luster stuff, which was all the nightmare fuel. For like the half-hanging gem mouths and stuff.
Also, I've just realized either the angle is very weird or his legs are not symmetrical.
His
By the
legs
way,
aren't symmetrical.
By the way, I'm not saying Land of the Lustrous is bad for anyone who's fans of that.
It definitely has a distinct look, which some people are not okay with because it's kind of experimental.
Oh no, it's I understand why anyone as a fan of that anime, I understand anyone not that's one of those anime that when your friend goes, I'm not a fan of that, you go, I understand.
A friend of mine read the manga, and it just goes to being like, how do we kill the world?
Yeah.
Anyways,
But let's not get bugged down too
Sapphire.
much other than to make more jokes. But yeah, so this is Sapphire, and there's an actual Sapphire. I will note, actual Sapphires are also, once again, a little bit deeper blue. This guy's got some lighter blues in him. Otherwise, like, other than his weird bendiness, and he's got the, once again, very Sentai-ass, like, bird mask.
I need another angle at his helmet to understand what the fuck it is.
the water he's shooting at looks more like mercury than anything else.
I think it's
And that's
more energy than anything, but yeah.
because it's blue on blue, and it's just like
I just hate his fucking head, his Halo grunt ass head.
I don't know what it is, though. I can't comprehend it fully.
I mean,
It
it's a
looks
bird
like
mask.
an
It's
alien.
pointy.
It
It's a
looks
pointy
fishy
beak.
to me.
Like,
Unless you mean his collar? That's just, it's a very high
I
collar.
want to shoot him in the head. So confetti comes out.
Yay!
Hey!
Yeah, honestly, that's what I'm thinking. Is he's like.
I mean, the
I'm
high
sure
back
the
on his
confetti
collar
will pull
absolutely looks like a grunt methane tank.
But even his face kind of does, because it's
You're
like
right, he's got a
slightly
little bit of a pointy
amphibian
face.
looking.
Yeah. He's got a
Like,
weird...
it's-
I mean, I say it's a bird mask. I think it is actually supposed to be more fish-like, as David said. He's weird. This is some Lovecraft shit. This is a deep one night.
Like I said, it's a Stretch Armstrong Halo grunt that got dipped in.
I mean, you gave me the weirdest idea. I think it'd be kind of great. Deep One Nights. That'd be hilarious. That'd be
I mean,
cool
that
for
would
the
definitely
dark-
be freaky. The deep ones.
No,
Well,
that'd be
have
cool.
you
For,
seen
no,
the-
that'd be cool for
complete
the Dark Ages. That'd be really cool.
Have you
actually.
seen
Deep
Have
One
you seen
Nights.
the Cthulhu dating sim?
What is
Sucker
that?
for Love?
What?
Yeah, Sucker for Love.
I've seen a little bit of it, but I haven't.
It's
gotten
very
it.
good.
I'm not.
Nyarlathotep
I
looks
think
hot,
on my-
and that's
my
concerning.
List for things.
Anti
I mean-
Danian.
They have a bunch of masks, so.
Okay, Gemini Sapphire. This is a level 4 Earth Aqua. This is an Earth Aqua, by the way. This one has 0
Okay.
attack, 2100 defense.
Yeah.
Welcome to Earth.
Big wall. Gemini Sapphire's flavor text reads, his sapphire powers commands the waters to protect him from attack. His comrades trusted his silent protection.
Meh. Very meh.
So this is the tanky one. And he doesn't speak, so therefore we no longer need to speak about Gemini Sapphire.
He's the Lancer of the group.
I don't know about that.
I mean, that is
No,
usually
he is
for
he
blue.
is the thick boy, because he has 21 defense or 2100 defense.
Okay, and then let's go on. We have our last vanilla out of this batch, and then we're going to talk about fusion monsters.
Fusion ho.
I mean, that may or may not be what they're doing. All right, this is Knight Tourmaline.
I actually, it looks fucking weird, but I like that it looks.
Okay, I have one problem with this art.
Mm-hmm.
And
Why does he have weird metal bits when none of the others do?
Because he's a thunder type.
because he's doing he has to control electricity.
I don't know. The
Okay,
weird
he's
metal
made of
bits
rock
just
normally,
get
which
me.
doesn't-
It
conduct.
looks like he can also be Condiment King, just like with the 3 bits coming off of his thing, just
Also,
fires
his
like
hips.
ketchup.
His hips baffle me.
No, it's just like a hip guard. I think he's just, once again, the problem with all these guys is the artist wanted to do dynamic poses, and it's weird. Like,
And they're bad at it.
Mhm.
No, I'll just say it out loud. They're bad at dynamic poses.
yeah, the poses all look weird so far.
I think the armor design
Oh,
is
there's-
pretty good. I think the pose experience.
Yeah, the pose reminds me of Elemental Hero.
like,
Which is how you know it's not a JoJo thing, because that is at times the opposite.
like he's got one of his legs like fully cocked up all the way, and it doesn't look like it makes
Yeah,
sense.
no,
in perspective.
I'm getting Rob Liefeld vibes, not necessarily in the
Terrible way.
in
but
the
awkward
in
way.
the design, but he definitely, whoever this artist is, definitely has Rob Liefeld's "I don't know how humans move" disease.
So, by the way, I want to throw this out there. This is one of the best images of, it's small, but one of the best images of Tourmaline I can find. Tourmaline is not widely known as a yellow gemstone. It can be yellowish. Most commonly,
It's
they are
mostly
very
brown.
dark green or black. But the one that's the most famous is there are kinds of tourmaline that form, which are called watermelon tourmaline. They are actually like pink and green.
Aren't
None
there
of this
also
has anything to do
brown
with yellow.
ones?
Yes, there are also brown ones. They come in a wide variety of colors, but like I
Yeah,
said,
because I have a tourmaline.
Was it
thing
originally
in
named Tourmaline
house.
in JP?
let me check.
Probably.
Yes. Gemini Tourmaline, as in Romaline, Tourmaline, or
Okay.
Lomaline.
I was
Let's see,
literally
there's
thinking of like the
trivia.
Japanese Tourmaline or not, but
Nah, no, these guys are all named in English, so.
Well, a bunch of gems come in, despite what they look, a bunch of gems come in different colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Though I will say, funnily enough, the name Tourmaline as well comes from a Swahili word for carnelian, which is also red.
Yep.
So, like, there's a lot of variety here, but he's a weird one. I like parts of this design, to be sure. Like, pose aside,
Yeah.
armor-wise, his little condiment plunger spark plugs are weird, but, like, the lightning bolt like shoulder bits and the arm designs. I actually like the spike on his helmet, and he's got like a cool kind of like crown look to his visor. Elements of this are okay.
Like I honestly feel like I could see like the visor sliding direction, good thing.
If they didn't do a dynamic pose, he'd look a lot better. Is how he looks.
I would agree.
Yeah. Oh god, the fucking dual terminal didn't help.
Nope.
This image is so
I
shit,
saw
but
that.
I have to show you. I have to show you guys.
I see that.
Meh. Meh.
You know,
Oh!
I was gonna say, you
Honestly,
don't
if it was
have
higher
to-
quality, I could probably wouldn't be that bad. But it's so big.
No,
I mean,
this is an early.
it's so dog shit, but look at him. He's like up on a tippy toe and still has the bent leg. He's just like, meh. What is this
Actually,
guy doing?
You know what would make this guy look a million times better? And it's just a simple thing. Give him a cloak.
A cloak
That's
might work.
probably true.
Just
The
a
design
broad
is
cloak.
slightly different, but I would say I think the Animu does a better job. Like it's a little lower poly, but I think that actually helps him by making him look a little more cartoony. Like
He's not as sharp, but
his angles are a
yeah.
little weird, but he looks like he makes more sense. Like I think his knee actually works with that angle. But they're all it's all really weird. So Tourmaline, Gemini Tourmaline, another vanilla. This is a level 4 normal Earth Sunda monster.
Sunda King.
He has, which by the way is not that weird for Thunders. There are quite a few Earth Thunders.
Show me Sunda.
Something about magnetism. He has 1600 attack, 1800 defense, so balanced stats, though arguably not balanced the right way.
Balanced is usually bad.
He channels mystic energies and changes them into fighting strength through the power of Tourmaline. Many admire his way of life. Can we fact check this? Can I get some independent confirmation?
No.
Citation needed,
Make
y'all.
sure. Who is the writer of this article? Is it Tourmaline?
Yeah,
This sounds like some Pokedex stuff.
Tourmaline wrote this himself. Many
Oh,
admire
that's
his
my
way of life.
favorite. That's my favorite Pokemon theory of all time. Is the reason that Sun and Moon's Pokedex entries are extra fucked up and dark is because it's possessed by a ghost.
Yeah, Rotom
writing
writes
it,
them
tell
as
you.
opposed to you write them.
oh,
Yes.
I thought the funny thing is just like all these weird ass Pokedex entries because the kids themselves are writing.
That's
it as
also
well.
another good one. It's like yeah, no, a kid would definitely write that thing is hotter than the sun.
Spoink dies if it ever stops bouncing.
Okay, I have never seen this next Gemini up close. I
Oh,
kind of
is
wish
it
I had.
What I think it is.
It's time for Gemini Aquamarine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that one.
oh, I wish I didn't know that had a face.
The Halo grunt gotta glow up.
Oh yeah, this
Like-
was the. All I
Like,
know is Gemini Aquamarine was the one who first defended against the Bubbles. Sent
So-
back their Judgment Lord back to the hand.
so I'll be real. I've never knew this thing had a face, and now it looks like it's just his armor is actually like a penguin with its mouth open, and he's a dude inside the penguin.
It's
I
just-
don't want to pull. By the way, I don't want to pull up the
Probably
image of it,
together.
but there, you can actually get yellow streaks in Aquamarine. Just the image I found for that online is like super huge, so we won't do that.
Is Apex? Oh, have a motherfucker! You playing Red Eyes? Sorry.
Yeah, this one already is like fucking huge. I gotta resize that again.
Wait, no, they're playing Tunes. Okay, never mind.
So, interestingly enough, Aquamarine is usually a lighter color of blue, and Sapphire is a darker, but Aquamarine, who is clearly Sapphire on steroids, is darker blue, but does have the yellow streaks. Like, art-wise, I don't think there's anything wrong with most of his design up until that neck level. Like,
Yeah,
his...
well, I have one problem with it.
What's up?
I know what they were going with the shield, the bladed buckler,
Yeah.
Play shield.
but
The
that's not how
the-
those are designed. 'cause
Yeah,
that
the
blade
force-
would not work.
The foreshortening on the blade is weird. It's way too, like, thick and short. It's
Yeah,
very
it should be-
anime-esque.
Well, I don't think it's too short. It's just too fat. Like, it
Well,
should
yeah,
be
I mean,
way
it should be
thinner.
longer and thinner.
Yeah.
Or if it is actually supposed to be that wide, it should be much closer to the rim of the shield as just, like, a little bit of a cutting edge. But I think that might also just be, as we've said, the art style of these Gem Knights have some very weird perspective. But like,
also, his eyes bothered the shit out of me.
well, that's what I said, Dallas. Once you reach the neck level, I take no responsibility. Like, big body, shoulders, whatever. And then you get to his, as Axe pointed out, it looks like a fucking bird mouth, like a penguin opened up, and then just fucking xenomorph style, Aquamarine's face is in there. Meh, meh.
What you can imagine is like.
So this is Batman villain penguin just armored.
No, it's the
Imagine
armor
his
from
collar
fucking,
closing in on each other, going ba ba ba.
What's that fucking anime? Not anime. Well, no, that fucking video game series, the JRPG that has like that I will never play because I'm a completionist and it will literally kill me.
I know. I love how I mute myself so I don't have silverware clinking.
In my defense, that's someone else in my room.
I don't think this is Dot Hack.
No, Disgaea. It's those penguins from Disgaea.
Oh, the
They're
critics.
pretty.
Oh,
Yeah. Look, I don't know much about nothing.
Look, I don't see any resemblance. These guys are adorable. Look at him
I mean,
spin.
Loft is the resident pretty, so.
I don't know what we're
You
talking about
are-
anymore. I'm
I
going to
mean,
start
I-
reading
I-
Gemini
I-
Aquamarine's effect, and I'm going to ignore
Please.
everybody until I am done doing that.
Please read it.
Gemini
Good, do
Aquamarine is our
so.
first fusion monster. This is an Earth Aqua fusion monster, very clearly. Well, I mean, it literally lists Gemini Sapphire as one of its requirements. It is a level 6 fusion. It has 1,400 attack and 2,600 defense. So once again, you can see the similarities here. Sapphire and steroids. Its materials is it requires 1 Gemini Sapphire and 1 Gemini monster, so it's half generic. It's Sapphire plus any other Gemini monster. Must first be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials. Don't you dare try and fake out the one name-checked fusion monster we have. How dare you? If this card attacks, yeah, right, it is changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, target one card your opponent controls. Return that target to the hand. So, Aquamarine actually has a use. I mean, like, hypothetically, if you can clear your opponent's board, and the fact that you can poke in for 14 that goes to defense is okay, that's still not super great. The primary thing is Aquamarine has a use as a big fat wall. 26 is not easy to get over, and if they pop it and send it to the graveyard, you get to bounce a card your opponent controls. So,
Is the design, I think, was the design meant to be that, like, in, I guess, on the dual terminals, you fusion this on your opponent's empty board, hit in, and then wall up, I guess?
probably.
Punish them for trying to punish you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Dante, but without the attack modulation effect. Like, the idea is that this is a defensive monster, so you can poke in. I don't know why you would try that, though. I mean, like, it's a fun effect. It's not very practical. The main thing, like I said, is it's got a fat ass that's hard to get over, and if you remove it, your opponent gets a bounce, which is pretty decent. You may even hypothetically, depending on the weird random shit with Gemnites, you may even, because of the way certain cards work, you may even see Aquamarine in some, like, tangential options because it does weird stuff. Bouncing is pretty good. And there are Gemnite monsters which substitute names because these old monsters have this dumb requirement. Let's move on to our next one. If there's any final thoughts about Aquamarine, which is not an ultramarine, even though he is kind of in ultramarine colors.
Yeah, I was gonna say sure about that.
I was worth.
Oh no, he's the ultramarine wannabe reject.
No, because I think that there's a few other chapters that have this kind of skin color, and it makes me think of the ones that are like literally just Sharkmen.
Shockman.
Look, Space Marines are lame, so
I agree wholeheartedly with Dallas.
All right, so now I have to ask the question for the sake of chat. Does that mean I'm in the room with dirty traitors or filthy Xenos?
Both.
me smash you, dude.
You can only afford flashlights and cardboard.
Just you wait for
the
the
thing
weird
is, David,
boys to get
actual
here.
Imperial Guard love Space Marines mostly
I know.
Because they kill
they're
things really
giant
easily.
meat shields who handle your problems for you, and they're super cool. Anyway,
Here's the
I
thing.
know.
My big issue with Space Marines is they have the gall to pretend they're the good guys.
They believe they are.
I mean, it
That's
depends
the
on
thing.
which
They believe
Space
they
Marine you
are.
got. I mean, have you ever
Don't
read about
all
Marines
bad guys.
Malevolent? Anyway, we're not here for the. That'll be next
Chaos Marines
year's.
are a whole thing.
That'll be no. Actually, have you literally read about the Marines Malevolent? They're supposed to be a
No, I
loyalist
haven't.
chapter. Anyway, we're not here to
Oh,
talk about
boy.
that. We'll save that for next year's April Fools. We'll do a fail portrayal 40K minis.
Oh Jesus! With that,
Oh.
Can we-
We'll have some
cover
fun.
all
There's
the
some
bad-
there's some
Can we-
scalps,
We
boy.
can't cover all the bad 40.
We can look at
Dungeons-
the fascist orc sculpts from Second Ed.
We should probably keep it within a certain time frame, just so we don't take forever.
We can look at Primaris and decide whether or not they're cool or not. Anyway, no. I was gonna say, Loft, I need you to take Aquamarine's face, blow it up like 200%, and put the Codex Astartes does not support this action on it. Thank you. Have that on my desk
How
by
about
Monday.
no?
We're gonna move on though to our next
Perfect.
fusion. Another one which you may actually have seen at certain points. This is Gem Knight Ruby.
I think this is the only fusion that looks good so far.
He actually looks cool. I will say, I don't know why.
Or only card
Oh,
art, rather.
bad words, but I actually like the design because
Yeah.
I guess it just looks like if I guess Garnet upgraded to like from Knight to General. I guess is the way to put it.
He got
This
more
is the
extra
first
juice.
design I'm like, this doesn't hurt my eyes.
Yeah.
I will also say, like, color-wise... Hold on, this is still a little big. Let me reduce this down very slightly.
They gave
some
this
more
guy a
pro-
cape.
Yeah, he's got a cape now. I don't quite know what's going on with that little, like, war pick weapon. Unless maybe it's a
It
lance.
looks
Let me
tiny
actually look at
compared
his...
to him.
Let me look at his...
I think it's a
forward.
spear.
I think it's a spear.
Let me
That would
see
work,
if
yeah.
he appeared in the anime or if I can see.
Is
Oh,
the
okay.
anime
Duel
the-
Links has the full art. Yeah, it's actually a big long glaive. That little hook bit you see down there is just part of the blade sticking out of the end. Yeah.
Well,
so
what
it's
is the
okay.
thing?
I love
what is
glaives.
what is the thing with Japanese, that like to do like Western style fantasy for Japanese stuff of they always like giving the people that have like an actual like lance or spear a cape. I've always noticed this.
I don't know. It probably looks cooler when you do big sweeping motions because when
You're
when
gonna
you
pull
have
the
a
wind
spear,
back.
you inherently have a reach advantage, so you have to like rack your choreography out farther.
Yeah. Remember the cool
Yeah.
spear user with a cape from Gisarm?
So, Gem Knight Ruby here, I mean, it looks like an upgraded Garnet. It's got that deep, rich red. The kind of navy blue cape, I don't think, like, hurts it, right? Like, it's a soft contrast. It's not really shocking.
Yeah.
Other than that, he looks mostly like Garnet, but with more juice. I mean, he's got symmetrical... No, I don't think he actually... He may not have symmetrical hands, but he's got closer to symmetrical hands. Any other art thoughts?
No,
Nope.
Okay.
he's good.
No, this is the first art that's good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Gem Knight Ruby is a level 6 Earth Pyro fusion. It requires Gem Knight Garnet and 1 Gem Knight monster. Gee, who could have guessed? It is 2,500 attack and 1,300 defense, so pretty decent stat line for a 6. Must first be fusion summon with the above fusion materials. Once per turn, you contribute 1 face-up gem monster. This card gains attack equal to the tributed monster's attack on the field until the end phase. Separate line. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. So, once again, like I said, when you saw early Gem Knights, Ruby was the go-to. It has piercing all the time and can sack other gem monsters, usually Gem Knights, because like it's not like Turtle has any attack power, but it can sack other gem monsters to gain extra attack power. So this can actually be quite spicy in the battle phase.
If only it let you do it from the hand, and then you could actually probably people will actually play it more.
Oh god, that'd be too much.
Yeah, I mean, if he lets you pitch from hand, I mean, you already have Gem Merchant, so you could just do
Well,
that.
and here's the thing, Axe. He already has a beneficial effect.
What I'm saying is,
And
though,
he has
is
a decent
because
stat line.
in most
Yeah.
cases, though, he's going to be the only thing you have on board, so you can't actually.
No,
use
no,
that.
not necessarily. Remember, you can fuse materials in your hand, so and you can recycle your Gemini fusions. You can quite easily, if you draw nothing but 1 Gemini fusion and 4 vanilla Gemnites, you can make several fusion monsters. If you want to.
Would this proc
Aquamarine's effect? Yes. When he's sent from the field to the graveyard. So yeah, there's some interesting synergy with these guys.
And I have to assume then that you were playing instant fusion even in the old.
Well, these guys are level
Gemini
6. Instant is 5 or lower. But certainly
We
you
need
could
the new
get
one.
materials out.
Wait, I think it's like there's a new one where it's like it's called. It's not instant, but it's the other one.
Ready fusion, I believe that has to be a non-effect fusion monster.
Yeah, I was about to say like I think it has to be like a weird normal, which is why it's for like 5%.
But yeah. Okay, all right. I'm girding my loins here. I'm gonna pull up our next Gemnites. This is the last of the first
other
wave.
fusion is not good.
I'm pulling up my I mean, I did have a visceral reaction. I definitely had a reaction. This is Knight Tourmaline.
You had a Minecraft villager reaction.
Yeah. The main thing with Topaz I just want to bring up
Ours?
is the weapons. He's got weird, like, I mean, so they're like lightning bolt tonfas, but they look like, generously, they look like Sentai weapons. Ungenerously, this looks like some shit you buy at Walmart.
Again, I will say at least before that, it looks like a promoted version of Tourmaline at least. So at least
Well, I will say with Topaz, you can clearly tell this is supposed to be Garnet and Tourmaline together, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he very clearly has elements of Garnet's like flame helmet, but also still having
Are the
whatchamacallits.
Tonfas supposed to have like a gun barrel thing to
I
it?
don't think so.
Because
is
it
the
looks
problem.
like it. That look they have like some.
I mean, maybe he did have spark not spark plugs, but like headphone plugins before. So I don't know if it like, but they look like buttons.
Honestly.
But yeah, he's got weird, big, long lightning bolt blades, which is very silly.
I don't know why they just didn't do like a blade made of like topaz. Like, make it as
Yeah, I don't know either. He's got topaz in his things, but yeah. I mean, other than his weapon being silly, this armor's not like this design is not like excessively bad. I think he looks like a little bit of a dork with his lightning bolt, mouth grate, but
I think the cape looks has a build to cape.
The cape does look better.
It's kind of
Loth, cape aficionado. Cape rating.
It's decent, but it could be better.
Okay.
I think it's because the guy actually looks like a giant armored. I don't also describe this feeling I get from looking at it.
I'll tell you what this
Alright.
looks like.
I'm a bit busy right now.
This looks like an MMO character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got he definitely has some not like high. We say this a lot, but not like high tier WoW pauldrons, but like low tier WoW pauldrons. He does have.
No, this
double
is from
lightning
like one of
bolt
the
weapons.
thousands of shitty knockoff WoW games.
Yeah.
Like where that merchant's
So-
from.
Yeah,
Topaz, Toparp here is a level 6 Thunder Earth Fusion, 1800 attack, 1800 defense. So not a good stat line for what he's got going on here. This is great. Well, thank you.
Oh wait, I fucked it up.
All right, he's going to improve. He's going for V2. Topaz's materials are Tourmaline and 1 Gemini monster. It's 1818, must first be fusion summoned, blah, blah, blah. This card can attack twice during each battle phase. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster in the graveyard. So, hypothetically, Topaz can be another OTK Slammer Jammer. He gets to attack twice, and he has the Flame Wingman effect. The main thing holding him back is, for a level 6 fusion, his stat line is pretty bad. He's 1818.
Yes.
Literally gets beat up by regular-ass Garnet. But it's still decent, right? Like, on their own, these are both 2 good effects. And it's not like attack modulation doesn't exist in this archetype. It's just, once again, a little clunky. I don't think Topaz was ever as popular as Ruby or Sapphire. Not Sapphire, Aquamarine. The names really confuse me. I don't know why they didn't do the other way around. But now we are going to leave the initial wave of Gem Knight support and Gem support and go on to the second wave, which includes the greatest sin of any support wave for monsters ever, Gemini monsters. Why do these guys have Geminis? I don't fucking know.
Wait. That was where you go. I didn't say this.
No.
You say okay.
Okay, go.
Maggie, you say that knowing that you are Red Eyes.
Yes! And there's literally no reason why the Red Eyes monsters are Gemini monsters, other than it makes us cheap.
I mean, for Gemini, at least it has a reason, because their thing has always been around normal monsters.
Also, Gemini?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's mostly the
Gem.
The Gem
Archetype should have Gemini monsters.
What?
It doesn't. Why doesn't Teddy have any Gemini monsters?
Yeah, I don't know, because that is as you bring up, there is technically some overlap because Gemini monsters are normal until they hit the field and then are summoned properly.
They don't. Yeah, because they don't count.
They're
in
not
deck,
Geminis in deck, but in hand
and
in graveyard they are. So you can use them for normal support.
And
stuff.
considering most of them, your normals are also your extra deck, it would work.
Yeah. So let me grab the card art for Gemini Amber. This is interesting. So here you go. Here's Amber.
How does a Gemini extra deck monster work? Because like, can you?
It doesn't
summon,
work.
Like a Link monster.
They don't exist. There are no Geminis in the extra deck.
That's not technically true. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure it is true because there's no monster that is labeled Gemini that goes in the extra deck.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought one was. Never mind.
No, Raptinus doesn't, and neither does Polycritter. That's not a Gemini. There's no... Because there's no... Well, I mean... Technically, you could just give it the Gemini effect and say to normal summon it, but there's not really any precedent for normal summoning extra deck monsters, so I don't think they ever tried to make that work.
I mean, Nirvana High Paladin exists.
So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this card art, and
Yeah.
I already have a few problems here.
Yeah?
Loth,
First
what's
one.
your... I have to ask this. What is your tag in Master Duel?
Yeah,
Look,
I think
I'm
that's
doing
each
something
other.
right now. I can't pull that up easily.
Okay, never mind.
But
You're
I'm
not
trying to
dueling
make a
Loth
shit
and Master
curve.
Duel, Dallas.
This person played 3 Scrap Iron Scarecrow against me. What do you want?
I would like you to focus on the failed portrayal. Explain to me why this Lightning Boy is green.
Before I wanted to bring up like one thing. I've noticed it's trying to. It feels like it's trying to be like a Knight Brother Tourmaline.
Well,
but
yeah,
also,
I mean,
like,
obviously.
This...
it takes the armor,
also
but it also
oh
does
my
like the
God.
armor is cheaper. Like they ran out of parts to put on him, so they just plated it.
They ran out
onto
of
him.
budget.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of look like that.
Cupcake holders.
He's weird. Like, he's got like a tiny face on his big bobble helm. He's
Like-
got weird flanges everywhere. Also,
Like,
once again,
don't-
his secondary
don't-
color is green. Why?
Like, don't tell me like those green bits were not like just like I guess
Okay,
welded onto his
Laminated
sides.
on? Yeah, no.
this might sound weird to you. I can understand the green lightning thing because that's an aesthetic choice I've seen in a lot of things.
Yeah, I
mostly
guess.
comic book related.
I mean, well, the main thing is when you have literal gemstones to compare to, amber is known for its very golden yellow hue. Literally, we call that color amber. And to be fair, parts of him are. Like, his lightning is very amber colored. I just don't know why they picked green as the secondary color. It's weird.
That was a good background green too.
But
But I guess-
I
guess
will
if it's
say, I do
greenish
like his
yellow-
little lightning blades, his little lightning daggers. That's actually a good effect.
Yeah. The weirdest thing I've noticed is like I think he's not meant to be yellow or green. He's meant to be greenish yellow.
Possibly. There are better gemstones for that.
Because I think they're trying to all be each one is a different color. So
It's like
you
he has a
have to-
tiny face on his helmet.
Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah,
understand.
he does have a teeny tiny face. I mentioned that.
I don't like the way like his torso.
Loth, I love what you've entitled this PNG.
Oh, this is dumb.
.png.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like his torso just feels like really bubbly, and like it looks like it just added like circular bits. Like it feels like there's nothing inside of the armor. It's just magic armor floating together.
Especially this version of Aquamarine I found that had a fucking blue energy border around him.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Sorry. Anyway.
Well, I gave my thoughts.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything to say about Amber?
It looks like his stomach will open up and be another mouth.
I don't really
his
have
magic armor.
to say than the tiny faceplate.
No, don't put it up. Oh no.
Hold on, I gotta get rid of this.
No, that's great. Oh Jesus, we're.
Welcome to the
Why
box
are we
chat.
gooped today? Why are we gooped today?
I mean, we're talking about
perfectly
Gem Knights. How can you
I'm
not
perfectly
be
fine. Like I'm trying.
You are. It's correct. You are trying very hard, Axel.
Yeah.
It's not working.
I am. What's the opposite of trying?
Dallas, you didn't try when you walked in the
Look,
door.
I'm in the background playing Castlevania.
Then
So.
why are you here?
What's the opposite?
Because I told him to
Kid.
fuck off.
Lost summoned him. Anyway, okay. This is another
Fuck
Thunder
you, Jeff.
monster. Level 4 Thunder Gemini has 1600 attack, 1400 defense. So yes, again, very clearly meant to be thematically linked to Tourmaline. This card is treated as a normal monster while it is face up on the field or in the graveyard. So unfortunately, not in the hand. I think I misspoke that earlier. But while it's on the field, you can normal summon it to have an effect, and its effect is once per turn, send a Gem Knight card from your hand to the graveyard to target one of your banished monsters. Add that to your hand. So hypothetically, this is a good card for the deck. It lets you recycle your banished monsters, which is important because you are banishing monsters with Gemini Fusion to cycle them back. Problem, it's a Gemini. Now, you can alleviate this. I guess if you wanted to play, like, pure Gem Knights Modern, you would run 3 Catalyst Field, because Catalyst Field is stupid busted.
So I've just done. I have a weird question.
Yeah.
Have they ever designed a monster where part of its effect is treated as a normal monster for the sake of being targeted by a normal monster for effects?
I don't think that specific effect, but
I
there...
think there's a 10th card that
There
does.
is.
Because I feel like some Gemini like cards be better if they were just that instead.
Oh, Dragon
There's,
Spirit
like-
of White counts as a normal monster in graveyard and I
think-
believe field.
I
Yeah,
know
there's
I
10
know
cards.
there's some more that's in the hand that counts as normal.
Yeah, there are cards that count as normal monsters in places other than the way Geminis are, but yeah, it's... The
I
main
feel
thing
like-
is
yeah.
what the... I believe you are correct, Axe. What most of these Geminites probably need to say is they count as normal monsters in deck, hand, or graveyard, and then not make you do an extra normal summon to get this effect. Because keep in mind, this effect isn't even that good. You have to... It's a +0.
Like
You have to send
I feel
one
like
to
it should be
recycle.
they count as normal monsters in deck and grave.
Yeah, but it's still I understand what they're going for. Attached to a Gemini monster, it's not even a good Gemini monster effect.
Also because I think they didn't design that kind of effect until way later. So
Oh yeah, no, that's Konami has been struggling with what to do about the Gemini problem for literal years. Case in point, we already have access to Catalyst Field in Prague. That was a late Arc V card. You'll notice that hasn't made Geminis good.
Nope.
Despite the fact that have you read Catalyst Field, guys? It's ludicrous. You get free normal summons of high-level Gemini monsters, and then you get an extra normal summon of a Gemini monster. I can literally, with Catalyst Field, I can literally double normal Red Eyes Flare Dragon from my hand like it was a fucking level 4.
oh wait, it gives you 2 extra normal summons?
No, it gives you 1 extra normal summon, but it lets you normal summon high-level Gemini monsters without tributing, so... It's basically every turn you have double summon for Gemini monsters only, and it is
So I'm
crazy.
I've got a
Also-
plan I want to do with that because I might have the super card bank for it
Yeah, it's a weird boy card.
because it doesn't get reprinted as far as we know, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not gonna pull up a gem comparison here because this guy is just Gem Knight Crystal.
Yep.
He's clear crystal.
Crystal.
He's like the big normal of the deck, isn't he?
Yes, this is the big normal.
Like this is like the weirdest thing. Like, do they still do this? Like in the last like 8 years, where they always have like a main deck boss monster.
Love, did that tickle you?
No,
We haven't looked at a
just-
couple of normal, a couple of like modern archetypes. Normally these days, your normals are your like a lot of decks will be based around a normal starter. Like Magic-Key does that. Suship obviously does that, but
Like, that's what I wanted to do.
I feel like a lot of archetypes these days do not necessarily go for main deck boss monsters. Some do. You could argue that certain of our favorite lore archetypes, like Dogmatica, for instance.
I would argue Drytron is the biggest example of a recent
Yeah, well,
archetype.
Drytron is also a ritual archetype, so yes, obviously. That is a good example of a modern one. I mean, like, technically that is how Live Twin works. Like, their actual biggest dickus monster is their main deck one. This is also, funnily enough, not how you play Live Twins good.
No, that's fair, because I'm used to when it's like
literally
volcanic
nobody
fire
ever
going, yeah.
summons the Eldritch Fusion monster.
I mean, I don't know what it
I mean-
does, so yeah.
I mean,
But-
I have a couple of times. He's okay.
But I also don't think Eldritch counts because literally Eldritch is the only main deck monster. All the other monsters in Eldritch are trap cards.
I mean,
Listen,
those.
I-
I think
Or
Eldritch
or
counts
zombies.
as. I'll make the argument Eldritch counts as an archetype because at least it has multiple.
Well, I mean, no,
monsters that are
definitely
trapped.
there are multiple Eldritches and there are Eld traps. Like, it is an archetype. But what I'm saying is, I don't know if you can say Eldritch is the main deck boss monster without also
Oh,
having
yeah,
the
yeah.
caveat, Eldritch is literally your only main deck monster. All your other monsters come from trap summons. Yes, he is the boss, but is that what Axe means when he compares it to Gemini Crystal? I don't think so.
I think of I more think of like I guess like middle tier, like I guess middle era Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's like
Oh, yes.
this thing's a normal. It's a big monster with big stats, but
I
it's
mean,
like
You
level
are,
7, I think.
Axe, you are certainly thinking of several conversations we've had on previous fail portrayals, pointing out that a lot of hidden arsenal archetypes feel like
if-
they have to have.
Here's
some
the thing,
kind of-
Omega. If you count boss
extra point.
monsters as making meta relevant, technically Dark Magician has a boss main deck boss monster right now.
Oh, which one are you thinking of?
The ritual, the busted ass ritual card.
Yes, that is a good one.
That card is dumb and busted.
Yes, you are correct.
And has
I don't remember
literally
which-
made Dark Magician a tier 3 deck off of the back of itself.
which is going to be
then all the
interesting
others-
because also, and in the TCG you can run Dragoon and Verte and Ref still. So for now.
But
Yeah.
now that's out of the
Anyway,
way, I
Crystal.
feel like we have Loth probably wants to say things.
Well, Loth brought a couple
I-
of things there. Yeah.
I already said it in chat because, there was a whole discussion about boss monsters, and I was like, fuck everything.
We'll say it for people that don't look at it, only listen to
No.
us.
Fuck them.
Okay.
There's
No,
no
but
listeners
fuck
to
you,
this. You
Axe.
got to read the chat. Read the chat. It's on screen. Take your
Yeah.
phone. Look at your screen. I don't care if you're on the side of the Empire State Building and you're hanging from a steel girder. Take out your fucking phone right now. Look at the chat. And don't fall off to your death. Anyway, Crystal. Crystal is a big knight boy.
Yeah.
Like, he's got crystals everywhere. I don't know how he bends his arms.
Very
Quite
careful.
quite easily.
Well, no, because if he bends his arms too far back, he's gonna run into his elbow crystals.
He still looks good.
I mean, like his arms are only at like a 30-degree angle, anyways. Like,
Yeah. I think I don't know what he's doing with his hands. He's talking with his hands. Like, as an armor design, this isn't bad. This is a much more like classical medieval armor design. Other than the
Got the
fact that he's
copies.
covered in crystals.
Yeah, I feel like the crystals really just makes it look more derpy than it should.
I like the I like how the pauldrons actually like came up, so like because actually the actual armor.
Wait.
Yeah,
curves to, like,
It's got a little bit of neck
I-
protection. What's up?
I realize what his hands is making me think of.
What is it? What horrible meme? God damn it.
to me,
Loth-
it's more like,
For the people at home in the private chat, Loth has printed, not printed, has posted aliens. He's
So-
not saying it was.
No, Omega, we should do the proper meme. Aliens.
Yeah.
So the thing about those, it basically goes like if I just hold my hands in that position, that's what your hands look like if not.
I
like
caught a
flash
fish.
A little
Here's your
bit.
hands doing the
It's still a
resting.
little bit like that. Loth, with the impact font, please put. I'm not saying it was worms, but it was worms on this man. Thank you.
I mean, it was always the worms for him.
Is
yeah.
Lots just the official court jester at this point?
I mean,
Loth would shitpost on his own. Now I'm steering the shitpost energy.
I mean, we already pay him with exposure.
Exposer.
Okay.
That is a different payment.
We're losing the
relax.
narrative. I think
don't-
Gemini Crystal
I
has a
don't
nice
need to
helmet.
push your
Anyway,
shipping during the stream.
this is a level 7 Earth Rock monster. He has 2450 attack, 1950 defense. Also, this guy is absolutely Karen Gorgon later. Probably.
Me fucking that up worked out really well, but yeah, Karen Gorgon is Karen Gorgon, yeah. I don't understand what happened to him, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not clear. I assume he got evil swarmed, but he's not called an evil swarm, so he's just
But he does
weird.
have the evil swarm stats though, so maybe.
Well, he already
wasn't
has the
originally
evil swarm
TP.
stats as Crystal, as I pointed out. He's already got the 50s.
True. Then maybe he just got broken.
So
Like, shattered, I guess.
now Gemini Crystal would be utterly worthless, as he is a level 7 with shittier stats than Dark Magician. But remember that Gemini Alexandrite exists, so you get to freely fish this guy out of your fucking deck, which is very funny.
You can tell where Gemini Crystal went during one of the later fusions.
But
it's
he
very
has
apparent where he is.
flavor text.
Yeah, I believe I saw where he ended up.
There's also the thing of I think a lot of
Flavor
I
text,
think
okay.
that's why I brought up a lot of Dual Terminal stuff comes in like it's meant to be its own vacuum, so it's like this is like the big level 7 thing in the vacuum.
Well, it is in the standalone set, so yes. But anyway, a Gemini officer of high rank who has optimized the use of the crystal powers. Despite his ability to overwhelm most opponents, he's wary of stretching himself too thin and opts for solidarity with his comrades. So basically, what this is telling you is, yeah, he's pretty beefy, but don't just Gemini Crystal pass. You'll die.
Also, what is the Gemini Chronicle? What is like the Dual Terminal Chronicle even about the Geminites? I guess.
I mean, we mentioned it before, but we can bring up the dual terminal master guides for Geminites. Okay, so Age 2.0. Basically the Geminites are minding their own business. Minding their own business in their neighborhood, and the Lavals fight them. The Geminites are very defensive. They don't counterattack. They just fight off the Laval because those guys are assholes. This causes the Vylons to wake up and fight both of them. But when Steel Swarm happens, they truce.
Yeah, it was great. Vylons were just like, you two stop. And the two just joined together, no, you stop.
But then Steel Swarms happen, and they're like, okay, maybe all three of us need to stop.
Yeah. It's just like, well, shit.
And then there's some stuff about, like, Pearl, and then they go into, like, Daigusto, and then some other stuff. I love this quote. In the face of the barbarity of the Gishki, the mild Gemnites finally felt fury. So the Gemnites are just minding their own business for the most part, but then when they see Noelia's war crimes, they decide to wake the fuck up and punch out everybody, and then evil swarms happen.
They are the militant rock people, and then I guess
No, they're not militant X. They are not militant. They are a military order, but that's mostly cosplay. They just like friendship and stuff.
I guess it's just how their society is structured.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to post this because this card is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's Ash Blossom and a tutor that's searchable by premature preparation of the rites. Because that's fair.
Okay.
Also Chaos Form, which means you can use the other one.
Well, no, you don't actually summon it usually. It's a hand trap negate and a tutor.
Yes, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you return this card to the hand. Well, no, it's not a hand trap effect, Dallas.
Oh, right.
You do need to summon it to get its quick effect.
It's a negate and a tutor.
But yes, once you bounce it to your hand to negate, you can then use its other effect.
Oh my god, you can send Mahad from your hand to the top of your deck. Oh my god, you genius.
Yeah, no, Illusion of Chaos is really good for Dark Magicians, but we're not here to talk about that.
That unfucks Mahad, holy shit.
Yeah, basically what I'm getting is the Gemnites mostly just fight all the guys and they never quite die. Though I think Sophia might punch Master Diamond.
Well, I mean, so do you want to go spoilers ahead?
I mean, I'm still scrolling. If you know the answer to this question.
Crystal is Master Diamond.
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
Well, Crystal is also like 4 other fusions, so I wasn't sure which one you meant, because he is also definitely Prisma Aura, and I believe he is also Zircon.
That's true, but I'm fairly certain it's like...
Technically, we should point out, Master Diamond, when we get there, is all of them. Like, he has all of their Gem Soul stacked
But
together.
if you look at the Absorb, Art of Absorb Fusion, I'm pretty sure that is literally what happened.
So then what are the Lady Diamonds?
One of the later guys is actually Crystal Zirconia.
Lady Diamond is Lazuli.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
because she inherits the power of Diamond after he gets boopled.
Yeah. Sophia takes Master Diamond and goes, you die now, and he dies.
Snack.
And he very suddenly leaves the narrative.
Well, that's because he goes on to Lady Diamond. And what does this mean for purposes of the new one, Rose Diamond? We'll find out later, next time on Gem Knight Z. Anyway,
it's probably,
Crystal is a guy.
I mean, I image it's just Lady Diamond tensioned using the new Rose Diamond, the new Rose Gem thing. To have a new tier, like a new movie.
It's not the new tier though. I'm fairly certain Rose is not as big as Lady Diamond. It definitely doesn't look as cool. Okay, so we're moving on though to our next Gemini monster.
Gemini?
Gemini.
Gemini.
So you guys will clearly tell who this guy is meant to be the brother of. But somehow doesn't look as dumb.
So
This is
no one's
Iolite's
gonna
voice
get
away.
Still
this,
looks
but-
dumb. Like,
No,
very
we get-
dumb.
no one's gonna get this, but he looks like a Mazinger Mecha Beast.
I was just gonna say he looks like a cheap, like, toy.
Oh, Jesus.
What's up?
Oh, he just looks awful.
Yeah, no, this art ugly.
Wait, is this another Tonfa that he's wielding?
Why does he have a fucking vacuum on his wrist?
Oh, it's not a vacuum, Dallas. It's a water gun.
It looks like a vacuum.
It does look like a vacuum, but he shoots water out of it.
I'm gonna think it's a vacuum just because it makes him lamer and he deserves it.
It's a wet dry vac, obviously.
Right.
So yeah, this is Iolite. Once again, talking about color schemes. Iolite is a very indigo or purplish gem. Which, to be fair, he's got a lot more purple in his background in his actual gemstone, but he is more bluish, lightish blue in his armor. He's very clearly meant to be similar to Sapphire. I mean, like, other than his weird water guns, well, okay, the weird hoop behind your head thing is goofy, but there are dumber aesthetics in armor. I like that he's actually got, like, the layer of chainmail under, as opposed to every motherfucker wearing the shorts.
Everything from the waist down is fine.
Yeah, his weird water blade gun thing is not cool.
And his helmet is bad.
And it looks like a boomerang.
It looks like a handle.
Well, I meant the water thing looks like a boomerang. You are
Oh,
correct.
I was just saying
his
his
helmet is a
helmet looks
handle.
like-
Yes, it's
Like, I'm just like,
there's
his
no
ass
help in
up.
this. Like I'm looking at his 3D renders and his poses in dual terminal. No, he looks dorp.
Why are all the Gemini art awful? Except for, no, like, Crystal and Ruby have been the only two arts that I've been like, these are okay.
So this is an Earth Aqua again. 1300 attack, 2000 defense, level 4. It's a Gemini, so it's treated as a normal monster, blah, blah, blah. And then its effect is, once per turn, you can banish one gem monster from your graveyard to target one Gemini card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So he's got 2k defense. Hypothetically, you can keep this guy around here to recycle it. But it's still not super good.
Also, guys, just I wanted to go separate journey here, and I'll be real. I don't know why, but this guy reminds me of this. It makes me think of this for some weird reason.
It's because he's got a weird hat thing.
I can't
Oh,
post, but
Those blades detach into he throws them.
of course it does.
Doesn't mean it ain't dumb looking.
Yeah, that still looks dumb.
I mean, it does. I'm just saying it reminds me of that.
Anyway, Omega, I made the thing. I hope you're happy with it.
Okay.
Silence.
Sorry, I'm now looking at a man up close for the first time.
Yeah,
Hey,
the
everybody at
Gemini arts
home?
are way worse than I thought they were.
Can you tell me what's wrong with Gemini Obsidian here?
He's wearing prayer beads.
Anal
No.
beads?
No, that's
It's his head.
yes.
Why is his head a fucking pot?
And look at his
Oh,
his single straight line mouth.
Meh.
I thought it was like
gonna
the
say
eye
he's
opening.
wearing a pot.
No, his eyes are above those.
Pot of onyx.
Yeah, no, that's
Are
his
we
head.
sure? Because there's also the other things in his chest.
Yeah,
where it's
because
like
all
he's
the
a-
other Geminites have had eyes like that.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Yeah, no, they have actual. Remember, they're rock people. That's his actual eyes.
No.
Okay.
He has yaoi hands. He has the most yaoi hands I've ever
That's
seen.
super-
I was more thinking he has like hockey. He has like goalie
No,
hand.
no, that is like Yaoi hands to the scary degree.
Now, y'all should know what obsidian looks like, but
He
I will
also
pull it
has
up
like
just in
weird
case.
like obsidian circular bits on his
Also,
shoulders.
can I just
I mean,
say,
that's fairly normal, right?
Knowing what obsidian is, this design pisses me off.
Yeah, because he's not sharp, he's all round. Moves.
Yeah,
Aesthetically,
they've
this is the
definitely gone
opposite
for
of
like
obsidian.
when you go it's like when you go to a museum and you go to the gift shop and they're like, "Hey, you can buy as many semi-precious stones as you like." That's the kind of obsidian he has, as opposed to the cool edgy obsidian like axe blades and arrowheads.
Well,
And
he just
scalpels.
looks like Onyx,
Yeah, it's more like onyx.
Yeah,
and they should have just called him Onyx.
probably.
Is there an
Yeah.
onyx? Is there a Gemini onyx?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, no, not yet.
But it's like he looks like onyx because it's all smooth and it's
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
feel
I
like
mean,
they're
he was
basically going
obsidian
for
in
it being
Japanese, so I'm
Kirby,
not
like,
really sure,
it-
but yeah, they went with it.
It
Yeah,
looks
no,
like
his
Kirby.
I
hands
assume it's
bother me.
because, like, as you can see, the like red-orange flex. I think they wanted to go for the smoke thing. He's got like a weird smoke, but like, yeah, no, it's definitely. He's got something wrong with some of his design choices. He's very tall. He has very big hands. I don't know why. Like,
Yeah,
I'll say
that
this:
would-
aesthetically, I don't see anything wrong with the using of the like rounded balls.
You know,
I
the
mean,
Kirby-
I do own a really funny, tacky chakra semi-precious stone bracelet where the other beads are lava rock. It looks
Like,
exactly like that.
Honestly, the prayer beads are the thing I have the least problem. Well, not the least, but some of
Minimal
the least.
problem.
They are
problem.
drawn
There's more
okay,
offensive
at least,
things to
right?
see.
But there's a lot
Yeah.
derpier about
Like
it.
behind his head and his yaoi hands, the prayer beads don't bother me that much.
Yeah.
He's got some derp action.
Look,
Oh
those
my god,
fingers look like they
the
would
anime
break a
made him
man.
way better.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So in the in the animu, let me remove this image of Obsidian and push this guy over slightly. They did actually they clearly redrew his noggin to actually have like two slits that aren't there in the original art, and removed
And
his like
they
eye
got rid of
bits.
the eye bits. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he
Uh,
looks.
That actually looks kind of cool. Even though like it's kind of low quality on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drawing is not high quality, but by like shrinking down the beads and like making his helmet look different, he looks more like an armored guy.
Yeah, no, that art looked way better. And he doesn't have as
Thing in
bad
the
as
s-
yaoi hands.
Yeah.
The thing in the show looks just better.
So, this is which is funny because, by the way, you will probably, if you were playing Pure Gem Knights, you would probably play this guy
yeah.
in some combination.
Yeah, this guy is like a 2 or 3 out of that I ran in Master Duel.
Yeah, Gem Knight Obsidian is a level 3 Earth Rock. He has 1500 attack, 1200 defense, but that's okay. He's never supposed to hit the board because his effect is when he is sent from your hand to the graveyard, you can target one level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. Say, perhaps, if he is sent off a fusion in your hand. We were discussing earlier how, Axe was curious if you could get extra Gem Knights on board to fuel Ruby's effect. Well, hey, guess what? If you have a Garnet and an Obsidian in your hand and you fuse them, Obsidian's effects will proc on that Garnet to give you an extra guy. So,
Yeah.
he's actually kind of important.
Apparently, his Gemini lore is that he has illusion generating abilities, therefore decreasing the fusion cost.
Because that's how that works.
And now we're going to enter the hell of more fusion monsters. Also, I want to make sure, is that accurate? I feel like now I'm missing a guy, but is there no second Thunder fusion?
I
Is there
think
only
they're
Topaz?
Prism. I think Prismura
Is Prisma Aura the Thunder?
is.
Oh, he is, which is weird because
Yeah, it
he's
is.
Prism and Crystal. Okay, I guess we just decided to be weird with the typing. Anyway,
You notice this now?
well, I mean, aesthetically, the typing made sense for the first 3 guys, right? Because they were just other guys, but together.
Yeah, no, I think they gave up the
Sorry,
typing
there was a
after
slight.
the
I had to
Gemini
do a
era.
slight pause because y'all gotta see Gemini Amethyst here. Y'all gotta witness this.
Oh, Gemini Amethyst is not
Oh.
good.
Y'all gotta see this shit.
We
Yeah.
all know
Oh,
who
it's-
that is.
Why is it oh god.
It's a cum gun. I'm just gonna say it.
I thought it was a rapier for the longest time.
Nah.
I thought it was like arm
He's
blade,
gonna
I guess.
beat you to death with solidified jizz.
Look at
It's
how
not-
hard I
but-
can
But
piss.
it's like cyan colored though.
It's not though. It's like whitish cyan.
I mean,
No,
it's
it's
that
like-
was the other way around. I wanna
It's
be-
like
Thanks,
cyan. It
Dallas.
just has light. It's just clear and stuff.
I mean,
like-
it's still water.
I
but-
don't want to hear Axe defending the cum gun.
I
But
do
it
not
doesn't
want
look
to
like-
think
what-
about
I'm not having this conversation anymore. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Good.
Good.
That is the correct move, Axe. The only winning move is not to play. Please do not engage this conversation. I am trying not to.
I mean, we can clearly see this is what's his face.
Yeah, this is
Vacuum boy.
obviously Iolite with some, I assume, with some crystal vibes, because he's got some of Crystal's like armor effects as well.
I think that's
Crystal
just the
defense.
fusion effect.
I don't know, because he's also got like this like weird coin pattern was also in Crystal's
Well,
armor.
I don't think it's crystal though, because the thing is, like, if you look at the next one, it's very clear who that is too.
I mean, Dallas. Another theory though: what if all of them are a guy plus Crystal?
That's fairly possible, but
Because these guys do seem to be able to freely combine and decombine, similar to E-Heroes and also, again, Steven Universe jokes. Yeah, I do not like seeing Amethyst up close. The
Oh,
water
no,
effects haven't
there's
gotten any
one-
better.
I'll say this: there's one fusion that I know exactly which two Gem Knights it is, because it's the only way it makes fucking sense.
I mean, looking at Topaz, we were pretty easy able to tell that was Tourmaline and Garnet because it was literally Tourmaline's color scheme with Garnet's like extra accessories. Yeah, I do not like looking at Amethyst. He's got like a really, you can see the whole ring that's also got a tassel on it. I do not like these water effects they keep doing. Please stop. He's got weird capsules in his gun for his water gun.
Stop it! Get some help.
Get some help.
That is how I feel about Amethyst. So Gem Knight Armor Fest. This is a
Oh my
also,
God,
I mean,
this-
I can tell you why I think he's Crystal as well. This is a level 7 Aqua Fusion. Its stat line is 1950 attack, 2450 defense, so it's literally Crystal flipped. It requires 1 Gem Knight monster and 1 Aqua type monster. So again, they've kind of like changed up the effects. So you're starting to see semi-generic fusions. You just need a Gem Knight and an Aqua. Which, of course, there are several Gem Knight Aquas, but if you had any other Aquas that would work. Is King of the Swamp Aqua?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a funny wombo combo there. Must first be fusion summoned. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, return all set spell and trap cards from the field to the hand. So this is a giant Trunade on legs.
Hey, Trunade.
Or Hey Trunade, actually, specifically. Because Hey is only set. That's why that card is allowed. But yeah, no. It's a decent effect. It's definitely like in the ballpark of trying to resemble Aquamarine.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a decent. I mean, it's a decent effect, but are you gonna be summoning Aquas? This is a very weird stat line, but we do art first. Art before I talk about how weird the stat line is. Some of you may
Art
recognize
before
this
ink?
motherfucker from that one time in Master Duel.
That one time in Bandcamp.
It's Citrine.
Ah yeah.
This guy
that-
sucks.
He
Don't
doesn't
care what-
actually.
No, he's good.
One of the Laval fusions?
Well, it's because he requires a pyro type, so you had to play him in the Laval deck because he is the guy you can make.
He has yeah. He's cool.
Yeah, I think he's fine. Here we go. Can I? Yeah.
Burning Yowie hands.
Burning!
Quiet,
he stole,
you.
he stole the
No, law that will raise you better. Erupting burning Yowie hands.
Oh
Cease.
no.
So
stole
Citrine, as you
the-
can see, is kind of a yellow-orangish gemstone. I mean, it's funny he is that he's in the Laval hybrid deck. Citrine definitely looks like he has some Laval energy in him. Like he's got weapons like those guys do. Like that's just what's his face? Prominence, the Flame Buster, Flame Man. Prominence, the not Flame Swordsman's sword, right?
Prominence the Ligma.
Yeah, he probably killed Crown and stole his sword.
But yeah, I mean, It's kind of interesting they went for kind of a brownish color scheme. Like I said, Citrine is very yellow-orange, but it's all right. You know, muted colors are okay sometimes. I don't think there's a lot bad to say about him, right? Like, his hands are a little thickest, but I think the way they're shaped, that makes sense, right?
Again, he looks like an MMO knight, but like not in a bad way.
Yeah. He just kind of exists.
Yeah.
Apparently, burning Yowie hands sucked all of Dallas's energy out, so...
What? I mean, there's not really... Like, this design is the very definition to me of, this is okay.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He exists.
Dallas can only comment on the Yowie hand so many times.
Look, the thing about it is, like, weirdly enough, the molten lava effect, like, I guess what I consider Yowie hands, the molten lava effect kind of covers. So,
all right,
like, it doesn't have that finger definition that creeps me out.
Gemini Citrine is a level 7 Earth Pyro Fusion monster. This is our next Earth Pyro. He has 2200 attack, 1950 defense.
Jesus Christ.
What's up?
Nothing.
Oh, is it because it's my quote?
Yes.
So he requires 1 Gemini monster and 1 Pyro type. Must first be fusion summoned. If this card attacks or is attacked, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So he has an Armades type effect.
Yeah.
Which is pretty decent. Like, that's actually fairly good in this deck.
Like, unfortunately, he's not one of the relevant Gem Knights for the way Gem Knights became played.
Yeah.
Or the way they became introduced in every deck ever.
Why I said this guy sucked is mostly because he has 2200 attack, and when you, in most people I think that played Master Duel in the earlier days, your launch, you have to deal with the fact that like he was under only payoffs and he couldn't beat over anything.
Well, yeah, but that's just because that duel actually sucks. That's not Citrine's fault. Like, he's a decent card in Gem Knights
fault
at the time.
Make a good deck.
They did him dirty like that.
Yeah, they gave you a really dog shit deck, and that was their big payout, and then they gave your opponent a deck where it's not a payout at all. Like, I genuinely don't think Konami was really thinking about balance when they made enemy decks in Master Duel. They just, like, what are 2 funny decks we can do? And then they just did them. Like, you're not necessarily supposed to beat the other guy. Like, the game is not built with the idea that you can overcome this deck. It's just, let's play Yu-Gi-Oh! Your opponent has a funny deck, you have a funny deck. Haha, aren't these decks funny? And then your opponent can continues to blow you out with whatever.
Or in the case of the fucking the one they added later, it's just a bunch of people looking at each other going, "I remember this deck. Remember
SP Gate, yeah, into like Full Tune versus Full Red Eyes.
Oh,
I remember
no.
Morgan Freeman.
We're gonna have a bad time. This is an official bad time alert from
Oh,
Omega.
is this the other fusion?
So I decided not to do the Xyz yet. I decided to bring up Prisma Aura. What
Oh god!
is happening
the
with
guy-
your face?
So the guy is couched the lance, so that's at least why he's holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what
The
is
face,
his
the facial
Gundam-
region.
Why does he have Gundam leg plates?
I don't know.
So-
He has double
okay.
leg plates.
So one thing I've noticed is like he has plated legs, and then he has like hip things like attached to his like.
Yeah,
hip,
he has
I
a
guess, like-
blade of armor plates.
and then
Well, I mean,
He's got,
okay,
like-
actually, do you guys want me to explain what the extra armor plating is?
yes, but I want to finish this thought so if I don't forget.
Okay.
I see his face is like it's a mix between like a Dark Souls mask and then like a bull helmet.
Well, he is also wearing a bull helmet with his visor up. But what's about the additional armor plates and weapons? This is Gem Knight Crystal literally wearing a Vylon Prism. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I can see that, yeah.
yeah, that is what it is. Like, that's Vylon Prism's face right here. Like,
It is crystal. It is Crystal's chest, yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
it is
the
absolutely,
problem-
it is Crystal.
The problem I have with this art is that we see what's under the helmets, and I understand why they wear the helmets.
Yeah, no, if that's what
They
their
look like
face
Silent
looks
Hill
like, I'm
mannequins.
just like, I mean, he's got a red cape, that's cool, but like, eh.
Like with
Oh,
the way
wait.
the way he's looking and his face, just imagine one of those weird ass Joey faces, and it'd be exactly the same feeling.
I'm by the way, calls Prisma Aura. This is also very clearly, as Dallas brushes his teeth into the microphone.
Muted himself.
he must have sensed what I was gonna say as I was saying it.
But
what I was gonna say is, much like with Crystal himself, the gemstone, quote unquote, this is referencing is prisms because it's also violent prisms, so there's no comparison. It's crystal with some extra bits. Obviously, like lore-wise, I get why he has that design. I do agree with the points you guys have made. Some of these elements are over-designed, like the fact that he has armored legs and then he has extra, like, arm, or not arm, but like leg plates, and he's got like double shoulder pauldrons and stuff. It's a little over-designed, as we like to say. By the way, the German name for Geminites is fucking rad. Edelsteinritter.
Cool. So, I'm trying to remember the name. It was like the thing we said was like the brother to Tourmaline.
You mean what's his face? Amber?
Yeah, I think so. Like the yellow-green one.
Yeah.
It made me think about like if this is Crystal's face, I guess the really tiny face in the it was actually his face, and the metals just go around his face.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just where his eye slits are. So if there's nothing else to say about his art boy, Prisma Aura is a level 7 Earth Thunder fusion. Once again, I don't know why this is a Thunder fusion because he's not. Actually, is Violent Prism a Thunder? Some of the Violins are.
Might be. Yeah, it is Thunder.
Okay, I guess that follows. That's still kind of a weird one. Like, that means that there's no upgraded form of Topaz. This is one Gemnite plus one Thunder type monster. It has 2450 attack and 1400 defense, so it's got Crystal's attack stat and then his lower stat. Once per turn, you can send one Gemnite card from your hand to the grave to target one face up on the card field, destroy it. That's pretty good. His stat line leaves a little to be desired, but the fact that you can, once per turn, just pitch a Gemnite, which may or may not result in an effect, for example, if it is a Gemnite Obsidian, to pop a face-up card, that's pretty good, especially if that face-up card is an annoying Floodgate. As long as it's not Skill Drain. But your opponent got a Royal Decree on the board you need to get rid of. They got an Anti-Spell Fragrance you don't like. They run a Royal Oppression. You just pitch a Gemnite. Get the shit out of here.
Get out of here.
Also, by the way, it says Gemnite card, not Gemnite monster. You can pitch Gemnite Fusion and then banish a Gemnite to just get it back.
Yes.
So,
be like, this card isn't doing anything.
Yeah, so Prisma Aura is a decent card. A lot of these guys don't have really baller stat lines, but they have decent effects. And I think you would probably be running, for the most part, this as kind of like a semi-control into fusion beat-up deck.
At least run one of what, like, I think you run, out of, like, most of the, I think if you're running a Gemnite deck, you run, like, one of most of the Gemnite ones that actually do a thing.
Yeah,
so, like,
basically.
one of at least all of, like, except, like, maybe two of them I think we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Run, like, one Ruby. Like, I don't know if you run, like, Topaz, but...
Probably not, just because its stat line means that in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Its effect's not super good, not unless you've got something
probably
like
one Aquamarine and I guess one what was the other purple one?
Amethyst? Yeah, that one bounces set.
You want one as well to go with the Ruby, and then I guess one just talked about him at
Prismora.
Yeah.
It's okay, his name is weird. Oh, Citrine, right.
Citrine. I don't know why I blanked on it. But like you run like one of each of those, it's like for just different utility uses, and then like comboing.
So this is this is Hidden Arsenal 6, so it's time for our obligatory Xyz monster, though as we pointed out, Daigusto Emerald is just actually a Gemnite. This is Gemnite Pearl.
I've never I'm real, I never noticed the pearls until now.
Yeah, I think it's the foiling. Because if you look at his real life, let's see, this is which one is this from? Wing Raiders. Okay, he was a common. So there's a common print, but if you look at him as a secret rare, it's a lot harder to tell that those aren't just like lens flares. No, he actually has pearls.
I like this pose a lot. It's very dark side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you guys know what a pearl looks like. I'm not gonna pull it up. They're literally in the image.
I mean, yeah, they're actually pretty good at showing of pearls.
I will
also
say
not a gemstone.
Yes, technically not. I mean, people treat them as a gemstone, but yeah, it's an animal.
Maybe that's why he's an XYZ.
It's just calcified mucus.
Yeah, it's a calcified byproduct of the creature.
Yeah, it's poop.
Oh, excuse me.
Not
Sorry about that.
really?
Well, it's more so an irritant that it turned.
Well, it's excrement waste, not literally poop, but.
Anyway, we're not here to argue the
it's
semantics
used
of
as a
pearls.
gemstone, so
And I mean, honestly, I mean, you could kind of argue. Well, I mean, I guess obsidian is called volcanic glass. It's a vaguely crystalline. Onyx would be way better, but anyway.
Obsidian is like an edge case. Pearl is definitely a hard.
Pearl is not a naturally formed mineral. It is an organically produced substance.
Well, it's technically a naturally formed substance.
Which
but-
maybe,
Well, that's what I
which
meant.
maybe
It's not a like geologically formed mineral.
Which maybe is why it works as an Xyz, because it's maybe made as a weird crystalline.
Well, and to be
fusion
fair,
between things.
Pearl, I believe, is much like Emerald. Pearl is supposed to be the Gemnites are part of the like recombining all their powers with other guys.
Yeah.
yeah. In which case, who is Pearl?
Let me grab
The combination of
page.
powers.
I'm pretty sure it's Crystal after the Master Diamond shenanigans. Because it looks like he has the same face as Crystal, just no armor.
Which would mean that his effect text makes sense.
So, I mean, they do some weird shit where like they try to say that it's like a Gemnite overlaying with Gishki mollusk because it's a pearl, right?
Yeah.
That's the only lead I have. It's
Well,
it's the first non-effect Xyz monster.
I'll say I'm with David. His effect text makes me think it is Crystal.
I mean,
What
yeah,
does
that
it say?
definitely makes sense. Because remember, all the Gemnite normals are level 4.
True.
Yeah.
So
Well, except for-
we are not really sure what he is, but he definitely has a interesting vibe. You guys have probably seen this guy a shitload. He is on a fuck ton of generic cards, like Xyz Soul, Xyz Stand.
I think I figured it out.
Xyz
I
Block.
think they just wanted something that was white. Because all of that was like the only color they hadn't used aside from like crystal and diamond.
Well, no, Crystal's white. If you look at the last one, Crystal is white.
Yeah, Crystal's
So-
color.
sorry, I wasn't here for the last couple. I had to step away from.
Well,
yeah.
if you look at Prism, it's horrifying. But if you look at Prismora, it's Crystal shows his face, and he is pure Snow White.
Yeah, his face doesn't look exactly like that, but it is a little bit like this. Definitely looking at his leaner body type, this looks like I think Pearl might be a naked Gemnite, if that makes sense.
Well, that's why I think it's Crystal, because it would make sense if he gave the diamond powers to Lady Diamond. After
Though,
getting
also,
his
by
ass
the way,
kicked.
canonically, this guy, he, through the power of the Onigami combo, which I will now pull up for you. That's slightly off center. Canonically, Gemnite Pearl did Aura Violenda Segment to death. He punched
Yeah.
the segment.
Nice.
So it might be kind of true. So like he also looks like he is kind of wearing armor, but it might also just be like he has shapes, his flesh shaped.
I mean, he has shapes like armor, but it doesn't really look like he's wearing anything, right? Like, it's very slimline, as opposed to the normal armor designs of Gemnites.
Feels like he's wearing nothing at all.
So, as we alluded to, Gemnite Pearl has no effect text. This is the first ever non-effect Xyz monster. It is just a generic level 4 rock. And you have seen him in Prague, because this is just a, much like Gaia Knight before him, right, in terms of simple synchros, he big. This is a rank 4 Xyz with 2600 attack. So this guy can beat up Utopia. Never mind
Yeah,
that
and
Utopia
it
just
took-
negates and then gets beat up anyway.
And it just took us a bit to get to the Gaia Xyz.
Yeah, but I meant the Gaia Synchro.
And the guy,
Oh, yeah, I know.
And the guy Xyz is
But-
way better than any of the other Gaia cards.
But you know how we've had here's the Gaia Synchro, here's the Gaia XYZ, here's the Gaia Link.
Yeah, we'll have the Gaia Link.
We didn't have the Gaia XYZs for a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was
I'm
really
questioning if they even. Konami may have wondered if they were going to do it, but they did decide to do it, and they did it kind of as like an alternate take on the Fusion Monster. Anyway, we're not here to do the Gaia one yet.
I know.
Put that
Just
in
saying
the.
he was a
in
nice
the-
option.
Put that in the the patron poll list for next time. But yeah, Gemini Pro literally is just, it's generic level 4s. He's a big bungus. He will beat your ass up. There's not really anything else to it. Would you run it in Gemini decks now? I mean, he's a rock and he has a name, but probably not. You've got enough fusion monsters you can actually do some shit with it. It's just not very relevant.
Yeah, I don't think you'd run him even in generic rank.
No, a lot of decks ran him. I mean, now, no, but historically he was run a lot because he hits over that Stardust stat line.
Yeah, he is a big boy for a rank 4. Alright, so now it is time to move into our third wave of support.
Yeah.
This is Hidden Arsenal 7.
This is where the art gets better. I can say that, because I like the art for the most part. There's a certain card we haven't talked about yet that I'm surprised. It must have come out in this set.
Yeah. We can talk about the bits first and then talk about the fusion.
Well, no, it is one of the bits.
Is it Lapis?
Yeah, I thought Lapis came up.
Oh no, Lapis is way later. Are you thinking of Lazuli, perhaps? Lazuli is this set.
Lazuli.
Yes, that is literally the card I am looking for the card art for now. Yeah. Lazuli was in 7.
I thought Lazuli was in 6 or something.
No, it's very weird. There was a lot of rolling out. There's only a few in Hidden Arsenal 7, but they're very important because it's Lazuli, it's Master Diamond, it's Seraphinite.
Oh god, Seraphinite. We're gonna have to talk about Seraphinite.
Well, yeah, that's I think when we can bring up the Brilliant Fusion as well and talk about what that actually does.
Yeah, that's when we have to talk about meta shit.
So here is the Master Duel card art for Gem Knight Lazuli. Here she is.
I love this art.
Yeah. Going for a little bit of a mascot vibe. I think definitely the fact that they went for a more stylized look. Like, she's clearly, like, smaller, possibly meant to be a younger Gem Knight. Like, they don't make a lot of the mistakes that the armor usually does. It's very simple. There's not any over-design. She's got some belts for twin tails, which is it's a fashion statement to be sure, but...
This is definitely Kiss. Very hard.
Yeah.
She's the, all the burly dudes fought in the war, and she's kind of, I think, the girl trying to learn how to do magic.
Well, spoiler, she's also the heroic savior.
Yeah,
she's
I'm trying
the
to... Where's the etymology? Oh, so this is actually... So Japan doesn't understand how language works. Got it.
What?
Konami forgot to Google Latin. So what I was going to bring up was that... Lapis Lazuli, both together, is known for a very intense blue color. I'll pull it up and leave it up on the screen for the next couple of these, probably. But it'll come back a few times.
Yes, Lapis Lazuli is the azure... I think it's literally called the Azure Gem.
Well, so the words in Latin is... well, it's based on an Arabic word, but it's basically... It's lapis. Lapis is stone in Latin. Lazuli is a... Latin translation of the Arabic word meaning sky. So it is literally...
Sky Scout.
Yeah.
It's the stone of the azure sky.
But the funny thing is, as I said, this one is Lazuli. You'll notice she is the one who's not very blue.
Yes.
She is one thing I find...
The rock effect. Good.
She's got, like, what's meant to look like twin tails.
Yeah.
But, like, it looks like they got clips on the end, so it's like, I don't want to lose my Lapis Lazuli, but a clip her onto, like, a bag.
Actually, I just thought of something. She doesn't have a color because she doesn't have a gem in her chest yet.
It's also one of the most expensive paints to ever be created. It's Lapis Lazuli.
So, like
it was known as the
color. I've noticed, like, she doesn't have any of, like, the gems.
Yeah, she does not have
shoulders.
a gem core or any other gem highlights.
So
There's
it's like,
only
I don't
her...
think she has. I don't think she has a gem soul yet.
Yeah, she does not have a gem soul or a power gem or whatever you want to call it.
She is definitely the final hope.
She is.
Yes.
I think Axe had it earlier as her being in training. She might have given it up to Lapis, but there's a couple of wombo combos with her. So I do like her like turquoisey type eyes. That's also a very similar stone to, well, not really similar in color, but it's definitely on the blue line, and you hear about turquoise as well a lot. But yeah, art-wise, I think she's pretty simple, so there's not a lot to talk about. So Lazuli is a level 1 Earth Rock monster, 600 attack, 100 defense. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one normal monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. So if for any reason your Lazuli is sent to the graveyard, not from your hand, just sent anywhere, for a card effect, you can add a normal monster to your hand. So it lets you cycle through some of your Gemini boys. A decent supporting effect. Anything else to say about her? Otherwise, I will move on to our next man.
No. Looks cute, but I guess that's the point.
Yeah, she definitely looks a little bit like the girl mascot character. I am definitely not gonna like seeing this next man up close.
Yeah.
There's no possible way that
it makes me think of.
Oh no, I love this art. But
I guess it makes me think of like in the squad of all
guess
dudes
that-
they have like the
actually,
one.
no. I'm pleasantly surprised. Axe, what were you saying? Sorry.
Again, to just bring it up about like the girl mascot thing of like it does already like in the team full of just a bunch of dudes of various different personalities and body types. You have the one girl as like the young one they have to like always make sure is doing okay because they're always fighting to keep her safe or some nonsense.
The Mamoru.
Yeah. So this is Gem Knight Sardonyx, who I thought would be bad, but no, actually up close he looks okay.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were talking about.
No,
But
Sardonyx
that's
first.
also pretty good.
It's actually a really cool color pattern. Damn.
Which, by the way, is what Sardonyx looks like. Let me grab a color.
Oh yeah, just double checking this. Did we cover Gem Armadillo? That was in Arsenal 5.
Oh, no, I did not mention that one. Did I see it in the list? I can bring it back. Is that one directly related to gems? The gem slash cards are a little weird.
Yeah, it's related to gems and adds the Gem Knight to hand.
I will say Sardonyx.
I did not see that at first in the list, but yeah.
He has like a mole helmet, but I like the pattern because it also looks like the surface of Saturn or something. Or I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean it looks like Sardonyx, but it's very striking. Yeah.
Also, that flail is not great, but considering it's just a thing on the end of a chain, it's probably not that terrible.
Well, I mean it's motion blurred. But yes,
I meant like as a weapon.
Gem Armadillo
I'm
does
being
actually
dumb.
directly have a thing. I mean, it's a flail. He throws it very far. He's got a really long chain.
You was my best friend, but you owed me $7. Why do I think I know what stream this is from?
But like, I don't think it's a mole face axe. There are actually literally knightly helmets that have like big
I know
front projections.
I know it,
but I like Sardonyx. It's pretty cool. A pity you probably never heard of him because he is a Gemini. This is the Pyro Gemini.
I mean, I've seen him before.
Well, you probably saw him in that one Master Duel deck, but like in normal circumstances, nobody remembers what this guy does because he is the Pyro Gemini. He has he's another Earth Pyro. He has 800 attack, 900 defense. Treated as a normal monster. Blah blah blah. Against effect monster. Its effect is when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can add one Gemini card from your deck to your hand. Problem: this is a Gemini monster. This means you have to go through so many steps to get this effect. Which also, by the way, Marth brought up Gem Armadillo. That's just what Gem Armadillo does. If you normal summon it, you get to search a Gemini. So, yeah, Sardonyx looks cool, and his effect is okay, but he is hampered by the fact that he is a Gemini, so you have to either, like, special summon him, or, normal summon him twice, and then you can get an effect where you can destroy a monster and search a card, which, instead you should probably just be making, like, Citrine or Ruby or a good Gem Knight monster. It's just, I think the Geminis are honestly, I don't know what Konami was thinking. I guess they were expecting you to, like, have to slow roll to your fusions. Never mind that you have all the searching power you need. You just make fusions, and that's how you win. There's a lot of these guys who, like,
seeing this in a lot of, like, archetypes of this era in the next, like, 4 years afterwards. Of, like, they kind of expect the games to be slower, which probably works more in the OCG because they probably have.
I mean, I don't even know if at this time period the OCG was slower. In general, I don't imagine that many people actually want Yu-Gi-Oh to be slow.
I do. Well, slow, no, but slower, yes.
So, I mean, modern Yu-Gi-Oh slower, yes, but I'm like thinking back to our own limited format, right?
As much as people want to harp on it, the breaking of time of when it became slower is very, or the OCG became slower than the TCG, is with the TCGs banning a maxi and the OCG saying nah. That was the big tipping point, which was only in like 2019, I think.
Yeah. There's Gem Armadillo, by the way. He's an Armadillo who is also a gem.
Yeah, but did the OCG ever limit Maxi? Because I think we limited Maxi fairly early on too.
All I can say is Gem Armadillo is cute.
It is an armadillo.
Yes.
It looks
It is
kind of
certainly an armadillo.
It has a kind of badass face in a weird way. But like, I like
Hey,
it.
wait a
It's so cute.
second. He's that armadillo
Well,
from
I mean-
Donkey Kong.
Spoilers, armadillos are terrifying. They can like rip a human in half.
Yeah.
Like their claws are ridiculously sharp.
Yeah, I know this guy.
Like those claws are sharp.
With some of the decks, I would be unexpected die, then summon this guy to get another Gemini. I'll go into the link, which we'll get to later.
Sorry, I'm just reading this guy's Japanese name. It's Jimirishu Gemrisis. I don't even know what they're trying to do. It's a fucking gem armadillo, guys. You drew it that way. Don't be weird. Anyway, this is a level 4.
Sometimes the translators are good.
This is a level 4 rock monster with an effect. It has 1700 attack, 500 defense. When this card is normal summoned, you can add a Gemini monster from your deck to your hand. This is just another decent searcher. And back in the day, because as Marth pointed out, this was Hidden Arsenal 5, so this was the first wave of support. That was good. Normal summon search effect was decent. Honestly, to this day, depending on your searchers, it's still good. You usually prefer your one-card searchers to search effect monsters that like are starters. I don't think Gem Knights have a starter in a monster form.
Their starter is Brilliant Fusion.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think they have starters in monster form. Their starters is do you have a fusion card? And maybe some of their support and power of the elements will be that. I have to double check the effects.
I mean, their starter is their link their link monster functions as a starter, as Mark brought up earlier.
Yeah, definitely that is another thing. And yes, Gem Knights have again talking about how much like support. Gem Knights were a fairly decent fixture in like Hidden Arsenal. They went on for really long. Like some of them last all the way to the end of their character arc, right? They also had an anime appearance, which brought anime support. And then they had legacy support. They had the Link monster.
So I'm gonna put it down to Konami not understanding why they were popular. Because the thing is, Gem Knights as a deck have never ever had a tournament appearance. However, Gem Knight cards have been in like literally hundreds of tournament decks.
Yeah.
So Konami probably saw that and were like, oh, that means Gem Knights are popular. It's like, no, the Brilliant Fusion Seraphinite engine is popular. Gem Knights
well, hey, speaking of which, that is, because I figured we would leave Master Diamond until last of this wave, because he is kind of a big boy. That means Seraphinite is next, so give me a second to pull up her art.
Yeah, Seraphinite, arguably the most important card in this archetype.
It's interesting how like it's like the ladies are like the most important cards. But
Seraphinite, are you not in Master Duel, or does the Yugipedia just not? There it is. Okay, sorry, it's off to the side. I was like, I can't be right. Here we go. There's the card art.
No, Seraphinite's definitely in Master Duel.
All right, so here is Gem Knight Seraphinite. That is actually, by the way, the name of a gemstone.
Mm-hmm.
So give me a second to pull that up. If anybody has any thoughts about Seraphinite.
I'm pretty sure this is a they, because I'm pretty sure it's two different Gem Knights of different genders.
Well, so I don't know why, but like, is it like cloak and it's like headpiece like fantasy Arabic or something? It just
it's lapis. It's literally lapis.
Well, so it's Lazuli.
Or sorry,
and
Lazuli.
Constellar Virgo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is when we team up with Constellars.
It is Virgo's body, huh?
Yeah. Which I can't tell if Virgo is supposed to be assigned a gender identity, so I will not fight anybody on that one.
Constellars are just constellation. I
always took Virgo as the at least feminine.
Well, Virgo is the scales, so that
no, Dallas. Virgo is the Virgin.
Yeah.
Libra's the scales.
Nice try, Dallas.
I don't know. Well, I've said it before. I don't know dick about Greek. I don't care.
Yeah. So this is Seraph.
Those are Greek. No, it's a constellation.
Greek constellation.
And those are Greek.
Okay.
Well, not all constellations are Greek, but Virgo is a Greek
constellation. That constellation is Greek.
Dallas, I'm sure, can regale us about many Chinese constellations. Anyway,
I really can't.
Interesting. So you can see Seraphinite is a very green gemstone with this unique feathered pattern. You can see a little bit of that in some of.
I love this art, by the way.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, but like I honestly see it as like it is.
Should we do guess this card's type?
Yeah,
before that,
actually, yes. Let me chat. Go ahead and get your guesses in now. Axe, please continue your thought. I want to clarify.
Again, we're bringing up like some of the like stellars. It's like no, this actually does look like Virgo with someone layered on top of her or them, whatever.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's because of the face design. I feel like it's Lapis with Virgo layered on top of them, but
I'm pretty sure it is Lapis either wearing Virgo or like using Virgo as a mech suit.
That's fair because it's like I image like the arms and like I image most of like things below like the shoulders look like they're Virgo.
Okay, so.
But like aesthetically, this card definitely looks like the link between
Yeah, this is my second favorite Gemini art.
The actual like Constellar style of like Angel Knights.
I would like to see a full 3D model just to see what it all looks like from every angle, honestly. That's a good thing, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't show you the actual turnaround, but I do believe because this was Hidden Arsenal, it would have a 3D model on the dual terminal machines.
That's the artist thing. Like, I think it'd be interesting to see that.
It's burning.
God, these shots are all awful. But it looks like he, she, it, they has a lot of poses. It's got like blazing.
Let's just assume Virgo's dead and call it she.
But so there's a lot of interesting flexibility in Seraphonite. I'm gonna give chat a couple more opportunities. I feel like there's more than 2 of you in here.
It says there's 12 watching.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I know
only 3 of those can be us. Unless Omega's watching his own stream.
No, I'm watching the preview window, which doesn't count.
Yeah.
But while I'm letting them get another opportunity, I will also pull up the card art and stuff, so we can also talk about Brilliant Fusion because it's time.
Yeah, this is. We need to talk about these cards.
Because this is the Brilliant Fusion target. I can spoil its effect. Its effect gives you an extra normal summon.
Oh yeah, right. This card, right? Yeah.
So
Yes,
this is the one. So let me try not to squish our.
I'm gonna make a pitch next time we do unbannings to put Brilliant Fusion to more than one. But
I don't know about that, Dallas. It's still limit 1 in the OCG.
I just want to play Gem Knights.
I mean, you can play it at 1. It's still at 1 in the OCG. I guess we can discuss whitelisting it so you can play pure Gem Knights. I don't think anybody has the beans to do the Seraphonite engine, but
yeah.
Anyway, let's see.
I will say the thing of.
I'm not getting any responses in chat.
I didn't think about it, but yeah, I guess if you can just chain normal summons.
Yes, exactly.
And I will say Brilliant Fusion. Is there just like, I guess just a more, when you cut a gem to make it smooth version of Gem Knight Fusion?
Oh yeah, it's just Gem Knight. It's the Gem Knight Fusion effect, but even more, like, fusion Gem Knight. Okay, so, Loth guest in chat. Zed got it. This is the fairy, yes.
Yes.
Which I believe...
Angel, yeah.
Yeah, Constellars are fairies, so...
She does have angel wings, yeah.
Or warrior. Yeah, they're fairies or warriors.
So, Gem Knight Seraphonite is a level 5 fusion with 2300 attack, 1400 defense. Must first be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials, which are 1 Gem Knight monster plus 1 light monster. This is also why it was a great Brilliant Fusion target. We'll talk about that in a second. During your main phase, you can normal summon set 1 monster in addition to your normal summon set. You only gain this effect once per turn. So, not very impressive on its own, but it's an extra normal. And Brilliant Fusion reads, it's a continuous spell. When this card is activated, fusion summon 1 Gem Knight fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your deck as fusion material, but changes its attack defense to 0. If this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. Once per turn, you can discard 1 spell. The monster special summoned by this card's effect gains attack and defense equal to its original attack defense until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only activate 1 Brilliant Fusion per turn. But it is it's forbidden in the TCG and limited in the OCG. But yeah, so Brilliant Fusion lets you pitch a light monster and a Gem Knight from your deck to just get a normal free normal summon without using your normal summon.
Yeah.
What are some good light monsters that just do things in the grave? Let's see.
Electromagnetic turtle.
There's quite a few. Like a lot of light swarms.
Yeah,
too.
a lot of them.
White Stone of the Ancients.
I mean, you could also just send a light if you're planning to do stuff with Chaos.
Yep, Chaos will be relevant right around now, because Sork was fully out of the bag. I think BLS started coming around back around this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, this is just a free normal summon. Also, it's you send them to your graveyard from your deck. So I do believe that would trigger Wolf if you're speaking about Lightsworns. Or the Lightsworn Tuner.
I'm gonna try this one. This deck looks awful.
So there's quite a variety of things you can do with this, and this just gives you 2 normal summons, which lets you do bad things.
Yeah, it's not as infinitesimally broken as you would think
So
until
it lets you play a Gemini monster.
Well, here's the thing. It didn't get broken until Master Rule 5.
Yeah.
That's when it started becoming a problem because
Links.
well,
Links.
no, with links that you could do Seraphinite.
I mean, yeah, if you can Brilliant Fusion, that's a Link 3, because you get 2 normals and you've got a Seraphinite on board.
That's the problem. It's like when links were MR4, it was fine because you would have to link first before you could summon Seraphinite.
Yeah.
But
well, no, you could still put Seraphinite in the EMZ, but then you would have to use it as link material. You couldn't do any other.
Yeah, it
Or
was
even
more
if you have future
balanced.
summons,
It didn't
yeah.
become really truly broken until MR. And I also think it was partly the quality of links.
But it's funny you say that, Axe, about the Gemini effect. I'm sure that is what they wanted Seraphinite to do,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I thought. Yeah,
Like, I
sure,
think they
but-
wanted Seraphinite to be Catalyst Field and just let you get extra normals. But the Brilliant Fusion engine kicks in, and you'll notice, like I said, Brilliant Fusion only sends from decks. That's why Garnet is a Garnet. It has to be in your deck to use it for Brilliant Fusion.
It's why I think of a thing of if they really wanted to make it that you could just Gemini effect. They should have had a card where it's like you get an extra normal summon of a Gemini monster, and then all Gemini.
Well, so
Gemini,
I don't
Gemini
remember its
count
exact
as
effect off
having
the
their
top of my head, but we will talk about. I believe it's Scatter Fusion is the new one. That's literally Brilliant Fusion, but fair. Like they have just even though it's only limited in the OCG is still like, okay, yo, we need a different alternative to Brilliant
we have
Fusion.
we have like a few more fusion cards to go through, don't we?
Oh yeah, no, because they have this. We aren't even into their Arc V era support. This is all Hidden Arsenal 7.
Yeah, and also
That's a
Axe,
good
I think part of the reason why they wanted it to be somewhat generic is because this is supposed to be the bridge between Gemini and Constellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made this one not generic because they were thinking about using it to support others. And Axes, you've seen with Constellar, you know,
Honestly,
that's a spicy card where you need more normals.
an extra was actually really important in Constellar as well. So yeah.
Yeah, no, and like literally, you could probably pretty easily run like your equivalent of a Garnet in a Constellar deck with Brilliant Fusion, and that would get you extra normals that would let you do stuff.
Honestly, yeah,
But-
because a lot of them alter on normal summons, so an extra normal is important.
Yeah, so it's
You know.
a hybrid effect. The problem was because it's not archetype locked at all. You run into issues. But yeah, so any further thoughts about
Scatter Fusion's an interesting card.
any further thoughts about either Seraphinite other than just she has a good art?
Nyash, the best art so far.
Yeah.
Not my personal favorite. That's another one, but my favorite so far.
So,
Looks good.
Actually, I don't even think we're gonna go over my favorite art.
is it one of the? I mean, I have
It's
all
one
the
of the
fusion
spells.
cards listed, but if it's not one of the fusion spells, I might not have
It
it.
is
up.
one of the fusion spells.
Okay. Well, I've got them all on my list, so we can cover them at the end.
Okay.
Let's talk about Gemini Zirconia, though. And if I remember my lore that I read like an hour ago correctly, Zirconia is crystal when he gets mad.
I think
So
so.
I can see that it looks like he's just been inflated but full of rock.
Yeah, he's just hulking out.
Just looks like a
Don't
WWE
say he's been
wrestler.
inflated.
And obviously, the name for this
He's been
is
bloated.
This looks like God of War 3 Hercules.
the name for this is Zirconia, which you probably mostly know Zircon as a diamond alternative.
I have noticed it's like I remember him coming out before Seraphinite.
No, they came out in the
Yeah,
same
same
set.
patch.
Okay, I guess I just never seen Seraphinite play.
So
When
you
I only
just
I've seen him
goes-
play it a bunch of times.
Well, that's
Which is
probably
ironic
because it's because Brilliant. When did Brilliant Fusion come out? Hold on.
Brilliant Fusion didn't come out until later.
Yeah, Brilliant
Time to
Fusion
annoy
was
Omega
in the
Bud.
Arc V era, so that's why you didn't see me or Dallas try to do it in Prague. Whereas, guys, spoiler for Zirconia's materials, he is a Gemini plus a rock. It took them 3 waves of support to realize that was a good idea.
Yeah. But to piss off Omega with another Kamen Rider reference, he is Gorillamon from Build.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I just make a face. But yeah, people at home, you've probably heard mostly Zircon as a reference to like either the metal zirconium or fake diamonds. But Zircon's actual like more common colors is more of a golden brown.
Or is that not a different word?
No, zirconium is a metal that is the zircon, the gemstone you make zirconium from.
No, but I thought it was zirconium. I don't know why.
No, I do not think that is correct.
Okay, I could be bad.
The word in Persian zargun is the origin of zircon, but
yeah. A lot of gems have Middle Eastern origins because spoilers.
A lot of
that's
gems
where a lot of gems
are.
are. It's like they're mostly in the Middle East and Africa.
Either a lot of them originate there, or the gem trade passed through there for the longest time.
The Egyptians loved turquoise so much that despite the fact that they never wanted to leave the fucking Nile, they kept turquoise mines in I think what's technically modern day Israel, but in that little appendix right there, that little chunk that attaches to Central Asia, they would keep topaz mines because not topaz, turquoise mines because they loved turquoise so much.
Yeah.
But also, guess what? What forms gemstones? Usually volcanic activity. The mountains in Europe have been dead for a long ass time. It's probably
You tell me these volcanoes.
It's probably why European culture has a lot of that stuff going on, and why they remember a lot of the stuff that wasn't. You know, like that time Pompeii exploded. But yeah, art-wise, Zirconia is just that guy, but hulky.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I would pull up an image of a Zircon, but I won't because it doesn't. It's a brown rock. It doesn't make any sense.
Zircon, these nuts.
No, I will say
hold anything.
in the print as a super rare, he looks very blue. There are blue Zircons, so this also might just be that the person who did this. Actually, no, this is from Master Duel, so it might just be that Master Duel did a color correction error because this guy's never been printed as a common. So
Hey, that was
he's actually
that was
supposed to be
screwed
blue.
up. It's Zircon these rocks.
That does actually work.
Go.
I mean, you could also
You're not
refer to that part of
PG-ify
the
me,
anatomy
sir.
as jewels, but let's move on. Zirconia is a level 8 Earth Rock fusion monster with 2900 attack and 2500 defense. That is it. He's just a Gemini plus a rock type. Much like Pearl, no effect. Again, hearkening to Crystal, much like Pearl. Like, Zirconia is just a big slugger. But the fact that you can make him butt stupidly in Gem Knights means that you probably still play one of him because 2900 ain't nothing to fuck with. And also, I would like to point out, there are actually supports for non-effect monsters, thanks to Tenyi.
I think in modern Gem Knights you might actually run. Let me check.
I mean,
Well,
like I
I'd
said,
say modern.
there's synergy. I mean,
2009
you
Gem
don't
Knights.
run modern Gem Knights. We'll have to see. We can discuss the new support in Power of the Elements to see if that'll take them anywhere. But yeah,
Honestly,
Yeah, you do run one of them.
I've never thought about Gem Knights how like half their things are literally just one dude.
Well, the thing is, the you need 2 of one fusion, and 1 of each of another fusion, and then 2 of the link, and then your extra deck is pretty empty in Gem Knights.
all right.
for
Now it's time
what
for
it's
Big
played.
Chungus, our first, clear boss monster, Master Diamond. You will see from Master Diamond's artwork here, he clearly has Crystal's helmet with the horns like in Prisma Aura, but he also has every gem in his sword, and he has a rainbow.
He is clearly Crystal, because if you look at my favorite card art, it is literally Crystal doing the "I take on the spirit of all my friends, fuck you."
Yeah,
Also, he
Crystal's
has
a couple of
the,
his cards arts.
He also
I was
has the
gonna
horn
say-
bits from Prisora.
Yeah, but we were pretty sure Prisma Aura was just Crystal wearing Prism. So yes,
And
Yeah.
I'm reasonably certain that most of the Gem Knights did not survive the.
No,
event
in fact,
of-
literally only one survived.
as often happens in Hidden Arsenal.
I'm
Also,
also
chat, do
noticing
you
the
really
thing
need to
is-
know what a diamond looks like? Because it's clear. It's just more of this.
I will say is a thing, but I don't think it's like this is post Prisma because I don't think Crystal had the horns till after that. So
Yeah, to be fair, but yes, it's definitely in that vein.
Let's see.
Mr. Diamond.
And Master Diamond is just rad looking. That's all I can say.
Yes.
All the gems
So
is-
this I think is like as you
All the
discussed
gem
earlier with
salts.
kind of like
Yeah,
Lapis
they're finally getting the
and
good arts.
Seraphinite. Like we've come out of the crucible of bad Gem Knights, and Gem Knights are just kind of cool now. Like
Yeah.
he has a lot of the crystal like Photoshop filter on him, but he is supposed to be the boss. So it
Guys,
makes
I just
sense.
noticed something. I just noticed something actually really cool. In the background, it's the face shots of all the Gem Knights.
Yep,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
Yeah.
thinking about bringing that up, but yeah. So you see Garnet's face. You can see like
Well, Omega, you should bring up Absorb Fusion because that's literally just what this is.
okay. I mean,
I'm
we can
pretty
bring it
sure.
up now. If
I
that's
also I
relevant.
want to bring up like I really like his sword, except I think that like it actually looks like it will cut things. It looks like that handle will break off.
No, it's sturdy. It's,
diamond.
it's a solid. Well, also it's a solid. Swords are actually built that way. That's actually like the peg that is the same material as the sword just goes in that slot. And no, those don't usually break. I admit it because it's got like the very slim point where you can see the cross bit, possibly. But that means you got to
the blade
get.
and the cross guard. Yeah, that's right.
But that means you have to slip between that wedge shape here and the cross guard, which is not
Well,
gonna.
also
happen
it looks
very
like it has welded sides to it, so.
Yeah, it's.
I more took
hella
it as like
reinforced.
it would hit against like something like really heavy and then it would snap.
No,
Well,
no. Because
But
that,
also
like I
it's being
said, that
welded.
when you make a sword, it actually looks like that. That little sword has a little tail. That is all the same piece of steel. So no, and it will not break easily.
I'm not talking about the top. I'm talking about the bit between the cross guard and the base of the blade. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that won't break.
No, that's that little. Okay. This bit. Hold on, let me get the red pen. This bit right
it's also
here.
being held by the clamp.
Yeah, that bit.
Yeah, that is actually if assuming this is meant to be like a
Yeah.
real sword, that would be part of the same
That's
cast
part
as
of
the
the
blade.
blade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all one piece of steel. It has a reinforced like clamp there, clip to
Yeah.
hold it in place. So
If
no.
anything, the only thing I could see is it might fall out of the crossguard.
Yeah, if it's not secured, that's a little bit of a weird way to build one. Let me see if I can easily pull up. Because also,
But
as Dallas brought up,
usually-
Absorb Fusion looks rad.
Yeah, no, this is my favorite art in Gem Knights.
Like,
A
Yeah.
shame
This
it's a
is
shit card. But...
This is a dude you image like as breeding of power,
Okay, that
and
is
then
a-
probably does like a fucking like Dynasty Warriors or Warriors game style fight of like 100,000 dudes against one.
Yeah, but then he gets his teeth kicked in by God.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think,
He gets hit by the final boss.
If I remember correctly,
He tried to pursue Lubu. Sorry.
Sword Fusion is another sort of tutor.
Fun fact, the name of my Ancient Warriors deck in Master Duel is just Do Not Pursue.
Yeah, so here's Absorb Fusion, which as you can see is pretty metal.
This is literally, I take on the souls of all of my friends.
Yeah.
I'll be real, like Gem Knights are
Kamen
legit.
Rider
Just a weird,
and-
they're legit just a weird Sentai.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah.
We cannot deny it.
So, well, let's talk about Absorb Fusion first, really quickly. So, basically, this is a normal spell card. It says, add one Gem Knight card from your deck to your hand, then you can apply this effect. Fusion summon a Gem Knight fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing the fusion monsters from your hand or side of the field. You can only activate one Absorb per turn. You can't special summon the turn you activate except Gem Knight monsters. So, Absorb Fusion is a really interesting take on the fusion because it literally lets you add the materials if you don't have them, which can be helpful. The fact that it banishes for cost is a little fucky.
Well, but
And then
Gem
it-
Knights work a lot with banishing, so you're usually playing stuff to play with that.
Yeah.
To return banished materials and
Like, you would probably be playing Burial from a
Like
different dimension
Chaos
in this
Gate.
deck. Yeah, or
No,
Chaos Gate,
Chaos Gate is a big one. Like,
but yeah, but I love this aesthetic, right, of add a Gem Knight, then fuse. Boom.
Yes.
The fact that the only problem is you can only do it once per turn and it locks you to Gem Knight summoning, so it's not meta relevant, but it looks meta. as
well,
hell.
like it might be worth it in a world where Brilliant Fusion is banned.
Possibly. But yeah, Absorb Fusion looks pretty rad. So Master Diamond is a level 9 rock fusion. He requires any 3 Gem Knight monsters. As you can tell, he is stacking very many Gem Souls together. He has 2,900 attack, 2,500 defense, so the similar stat line as your boy Zirconia. By the way, this
But
guy
his stats
is
do not matter.
limited in the TCG, but unlimited in the OCG. Must first be fusion summoned. This card gains 100 attack for each gem monster in your graveyard. That does include gem monsters, by the way, so that includes your if you happen to be running turtles, armadillos, merchants, whatever. You probably wouldn't, but it hypothetically would. So it gains attack for every gem in your graveyard, and then once per turn, you can banish one level 7 or lower Gemini fusion monster in your graveyard until the end phase. This card's name becomes that monster's, and replace its effect with that monster's original effects.
Yeah. I use this to copy, I think, Lapis Lazuli effect.
Yeah, that's the combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even before then, because Lazuli's not out yet in terms of like where we are in the timeline, even then, the fact that this guy is a big bung schwa, he requires 3 materials, and you can give him monsters like Topaz's effect, like Ruby's effect, or Citrine's effect.
Yeah.
You can just stick those good effects on monsters who are bigger, is pretty useful. I don't think the name dubbing effect ever comes up much, because I don't think there's any Gemini fusions that name check any of their fusion monsters. But still, it's interesting, right? And he's a big boy, and yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. Okay, so that's everybody in that wave. So now we're gonna get anime. It's time for the Arc V wave of support, which honestly isn't that big, but is still very impactful. So
yeah, it's the most important wave of
because Brilliant Fusion was in this blob. But first, we're gonna start with a weird one, because it is a Gem Knight card. Hey yo, what if your gem was also a rose? It's Crystal Rose.
Kiss by Rose.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much to say about this art. It's a rose that's a crystal.
Yeah.
I've never seen this card used in a gem.
I have a Melodious. Oh, look, a Melodious monster.
Well, so it name checks both of those. It is neither. It is not technically part of either archetype. Unlike, I believe, the new one, Brilliant Rose. I believe that actually says it counts as. This doesn't, which is probably why it's not played a lot, right, Dallas? Because it doesn't actually count as a Gem Knight, so you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it run as. I should take that back. I have seen it run as like a one of, but it is rarely a.
On its own, it doesn't do that. Now, I will say this is a light rock, so it would allow you to do the Seraphonite combo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is why it's run at 1, is because of Seraphonite.
Now,
the problem with that though is also I believe another important another Gem Knight is also a light, so you could just
there's some other stuff. So we'll get to there. But once per turn, by the way, it's level 2, 500, 500. It's
no, I mean,
bad,
isn't Tourmaline a light?
No. Everybody
okay,
up to now is Earth.
Also, I should point out, the normal Gem Knight deck does not use Seraphonite as nearly as much as
no, because it's
other
not
decks.
really that important. But anyway, Crystal Rose's effect is once per turn you can send one Gem Knight or Melodious monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, this card names becomes that sent monsters until the end phase. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one fusion monster from your graveyard, special summon this card in defense position. You can only use this effect of Crystal Rose once per turn. Okay, so the first effect, it's basically E-Hero Prisma. He lets it, this crystal lets you send another Gem Knight or Melodious monster to subject fusion materials. I think well, it was for the anime, so it makes sense, but I do not know what the anime writers were smoking when they wrote this second effect. You're gonna banish a fusion monster to get this piece of shit back? No. You will not.
Well, so
you will leave those fusion monsters in your graveyard so you can banish them for Master Diamond.
That's what I mean. Like, in Gem Knights, I don't understand why. There is some use of it in Melodious to banish cycle with other cards.
Well, and I think that kind of makes sense because
Melodious don't have as many ways to banish.
If I remember rightly, the way this worked in the anime was Melodious Girl and Gem Knight Girl are like rivals, and then the Gem Knight Girl, if I remember from Legacy the Duelist correctly, the Gem Knight Girl gives the Melodious Girl Crystal Rose as a like, hey, we can be friends. This might help out your fusion deck.
And then the fusion Nazis attack.
Oh yeah, the reason was because Yuzu pretty much saved her from falling because apparently all Arc V action duels can cause real damage to be full.
Yes.
But yeah, so it makes much more sense that this works better for the Melodious deck because that is kind of the way it went.
Look, There's a lot of really good friendship art. I'll argue to the death. Arc V has a lot of really good art. There's actually a YouTube video that I love, and I will plug, called "The Problem with Arc V's Synchro Arc," which is basically the problem with the show. Other than the synchro arc, I think the show is great.
I mean, that one just got released like 2 days ago. Yeah.
Do you mean the how to fix it or something?
Yeah. Well, no, it's just the problem with, I think.
Yeah, you know Jake released that. Yeah, like because he had to put down his old shit. Yeah.
No, yeah. I love Arc V, but the synchro arc ruined that show for the most part. Then again, at least it wasn't the ending arc, which I could say about some Yu-Gi-Oh shows, i.e. every other Yu-Gi-Oh show.
Apparently it was just a huge scrap between all the writers, that's all I can say.
5D, I think Arc V and GX are the only two Yu-Gi-Ohs with a satisfying last season. Oh, and Vrains, I would argue. That was satisfying last season. DM and 5Ds just kind of don't.
Hey, you want to go to ancient Egypt?
Wanna fight?
Duel Monsters, the original series, like part of the problem is that was an ongoing manga. I think in the context, because it's just in the original manga, we go straight from Battle City into the like the past arc.
Yeah.
So like that makes a lot more sense, right? Like, Yugi and the Dark Yugi assemble all 3 god cards, and it's like, now you may solve the riddle of this tablet and figure out your memories. In the anime, we have to fuck around for like 2 filler arcs.
Look, my problem is when they go to ancient Egypt. All the stuff with Yugi and the Pharaoh dueling, that stuff was great.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, with the anime, it's just like 150 episodes are actually episodes, and others are just filler.
The problem I have is when they actually go to Egypt.
Anyway, Gemini Lapis is now on screen.
Yeah, baby.
Bobby.
Definitely a little bit more of the blue. She's got, I think it looks a little more like a purpley blue than a blue. Seems a little bit of a mistake for a Lapis-y type thing. But, you know, it's fine. This is a normal monster, so we can just talk about how it looks. The way the flavor text is, it says, the best of friends with Lazuli. Which, first of all, if anime has taught me anything, that means that they're gay in Japan. But,
yes.
Also, best of friends?
Remember,
they look like sisters.
Omega, remember, if they're gay in Japan, they're cousins.
Right. It's if they were gay in the past and now they're dead, they're friends.
That's true.
Or
they were roommates.
Or in modern stuff, it's like, or it's just weirdly ambiguous if it's like they're just into each other in a non-romantic way.
I think that is literally the best description I've ever seen, the best comment I've ever seen on Reddit. It was on a Sappho and her friends post about like 2 like ancient Middle Eastern people that were found buried together. It's like apparently they were very close and never married until the end of their days. They remained living together, and then the post is like the first post is they were roommates, and then under that is like no, they were tombmates.
But like art-wise, I don't think there's much else to say about Lapis.
No, not really.
She's like Lazuli. It's a normal monster. It's a rock. 1200 attack, 100 defense. So, you know.
She got the pole cord too.
Yeah.
One. It's like it's just like a ponytail.
Yes. And you know, apparently, Lazuli shared her core with Lapis.
Her gem soul.
Her soul
Supposedly,
gem. Her gem
yeah,
soul.
Zeki's bringing this up as like supposedly
The
like
black soul gem.
be like 2 beings.
Like this is really
One.
Steven Universe.
I mean,
like the last one, it was just a tangentially related. This is like.
I mean, that would make sense because you never refer to it as just. I mean, some people might call it Lazuli or Lapis, but
no, it's Lapis Lazuli.
yeah, the formal name for that gem, that compound, is always Lapis Lazuli.
Yeah.
By the way, we should point out the just for the memes, though Vesper isn't here, so we won't have to hear the entire copy pasta. Yes, I am going to call you out if you're listening at work. But all of the support was in Secrets of Eternity.
All right. So I guess it makes sense when you get to Lady. I guess it makes sense when you get to Lady Lapis Lazuli, which is like I guess the both back together, right? As shown here.
Yes.
So quick thing.
What's up?
Because Depends on if people care about Steven Universe spoilers, because I wanted to make a dumb joke.
Well, I have not watched the series because I don't know where I can do that. So, I would want to do that at some point, but I'm not familiar.
Well, it shows, I think it's just the websites you can watch cartoons.
It's not a
what website where you can watch cartoons?
What,
Axe, do you understand that there are 3 separate children's TV networks with premium versions? You can't watch Disney Channel shit the same place you can watch Cartoon Network shit.
Okay, it's one of the illegal sites, but I'll have to go find it.
I mean, I could do that on my own, but those are usually a huge pain in the ass because they're dog shit quality. I don't need you to look up how to go to. I don't even know if I should name websites while I'm streaming on YouTube. I don't know if YouTube will be mad at me or not.
I'm sure that YouTube would not like it.
I have DM'd
I mean,
you the
YouTube
spoiler,
might be
Dallas.
ambivalent, but whoever, I don't even. This is my problem right now.
That's a
I don't
spoiler
even
for
know,
like. Right. No,
I
never
don't even
mind.
know what companies make cartoons anymore. Like,
Fair.
like I've
But
caught up
anyway.
with all of the Owl House that is on Disney Plus now, but I would not have known that it was on Disney until I actually looked it up. And
Regardless,
Disney Channel show.
She have fucking anime eyes.
Yeah.
Lady
Wait,
Lapis
wait,
Lazuli, yes.
She reminds me of Maya Fey.
I mean, that is definitely because
Yeah.
there's definitely some formal Japanese look to her, like robes. Like she
I
looks
meant the
like
hair,
she's wearing
but
a robot
yeah.
kimono. But
hair.
also with the it's the hairline and the robot kimono, like the big sleeves and the gem, which looks like a necklace, right? Like
She
Yeah.
looks like she wouldn't look out of place in Metabots.
Okay, you know what show she reminds me of personally?
go for it.
An old Nickelodeon show called My Life as a Teenage Robot.
I can see
And I
that.
don't
Yeah,
know
no.
why.
I mean, do you remember
no
what
mouth.
SJ9 looked like?
No, not her, but like it just like the art style looks the same.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
with, like the no face and like the
Like
sharp
no
angle.
face,
Slimline face,
like
nose.
like
True,
a
but-
fusion. Like
True, but
honestly,
She's got
a
very
fusion,
human hands.
To make a pun here, a fusion between Western and Eastern art. Like
Yeah,
it
I can
looks
see this being
halfway
very
each.
anime-esque.
I still think it's like if there was a thing in like Ace Attorney where Maya Fey had like a weird like mechanical doll made
That's
like
where
her,
that
this is what I'd
was.
see it as. Like in a weird like diorama, that'd be evidence for a murder case or something.
Also,
Oh,
this is the most. Spoiler: this is the most important Gemini card to ever exist.
Okay, so let's talk about that part now. Gemini Lady Lapis Lazuli, a level 5 rock fusion monster. It requires 1 Gemnite Lapis, the normal one. So this is kind of a throwback fusion.
Yeah.
And then 1 Gemnite monster. Must first be fusion summoned with the above material, so you can't instant fusion it. You can only special summon 1 Lady Lapis Lazuli per turn. Once per turn, send a Gemnite monster from your main deck or extra deck to the graveyard. If you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each special summon monster on the field. Now, the key thing here is you can only special summon 1 Lazuli per turn. And it's a
the
soft
effect
once per
so
turn
that
its
you can
effect.
win on time.
This is what I got for gifts.
But also, its effect is a soft once per turn. So if you make Lapis Lazuli pitch for effect, and then go into Master Diamond with Lapis Lazuli, and then banish it, you can do it again. And does Lady Diamond also have the same effect? Spoilers. Does Lady Diamond also have the same effect sharing text?
Lady Diamond is the one that just says tribute another Gemini card and just summon another fusion.
This is for
Well, you can also recycle.
we're
Lady
doing
Lapis Lazuli.
we're talking about FTK strats, right?
I mean,
Or am I forgetting?
I
I missing
assume
something?
yes. This has to be for an FTK, right?
Yeah. You burn a whole lot.
Because it's 500 per special summon monster, so it's at least 5 for itself, but I'm sure you can get the Slam Jam there. And as we've
fill your opponent's
discussed...
board of tokens?
yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the strategy, but you could do that. I don't know the actual way you do the Gemini FTK, but I know Gemini FTK exists.
I can tell you.
All right, go for the line then.
Well, there's one card we still haven't talked about.
Oh, okay,
yet.
okay. So there is one more important card. Well, tell me when we get
Yes.
there, but in general, the thing you should know
it's
is...
the last fusion.
Lazuli has a burn effect, and Gemnites explicitly have a lot of ways to cycle themselves on copy effects, so it is part of the system. And yeah, otherwise, I mean, I will say for a level 5, it's got a decent stat line, like it's 2400 attack, even then, but yeah. then the last fusion it is we shall talk about, and then we can discuss the FTK, because that was the variant that was meta relevant, even though FTKs are kind of clunky.
It is the least clunky FTK.
And now get me the card art for Deadass.
Well, no, that's not true. It's not the least clunky FTK to be relevant, because that's probably still Frog FTK, but that was like relevant for a weekend.
Behold,
right.
Gem Knight Lady Brilliant Diamond.
I also really love this art too.
Yeah.
Spoiler, that's just Lapis Lazuli again.
Well, yeah, but she's got the diamond powers. I mean, I will say, I made the joke about the booty, though. It's not really it's very mechanical.
It's a robot ass. It's very.
She got Taylor Swift ass.
But this is definitely, I have watched enough anime and seen enough Japan shit. This is absolutely the very definitely final form. Literally everybody else is dead and the big bad is not done. So we have to make one more super form, which is, you know, the character you thought wasn't going to do it is going to rise out in the end to be the best special hero and stab them with a teeny tiny sword.
Yeah, I could have sworn we did something similar with
Yeah.
Metal Foes last time.
It was before that. The weirdest thing is, like, it's basically the sisters recombined to become Lady Lapis to, I guess, support Master Diamond. Master Diamond dies. She then takes his shit and then just does...
I mean, she probably doesn't take his shit. Master Diamond probably, as he's getting eaten by God, is like, Lady Lapis, you must take all our energy. Everything gets really psychedelic, and then we're here. Possibly brilliant fusion psychedelic.
And then she'll still lose because Sophia.
Well, no, she survives.
Well, no, because remember, Loth, Sophia is the end of the Evil Swarm era.
Okay,
There's a whole era after that. We're still in
Were they
Hidden Arsenal.
fighting with God? God.
Yeah. It was Lady Brilliant Diamond plus Evil Swarm Kirkes plus Constellar. I can't remember the Constellar one. Beat Sophia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then peace was restored for another 10 to 15 years, and then
And then the Klee came.
Well, yeah, Klee and
Well,
Shadalls and all that shit.
Yeah.
I
The
think
Klee
technically
woke
did
up the
Shadal wake up the...
Shadalls.
Or is it the other way around?
It's the other way around.
The Shadalls woke up the Klee.
No. So
Linda specifically woke up the Clipper.
Yeah, because
Right,
Klee are a
right.
defense system, so unless something was attacking them, they would not come out.
yeah, and then the Yongzings fought the Shadalls that then broke open the Klee into the God damn it.
It's a whole thing. Anyway, Lady Diamond is cool.
Yes.
Brilliant Diamond, technically, but you know what I mean.
Lady Brilliant Diamond.
And this is the even more bigger Bossister monster. This is a level 10 fusion. That is a rock, Earth, 3,400 attack, 2k
It's a
defense.
rock.
Level 10. Must first be fusion some of the above fusion materials. You only special summon Lady Brilliant Diamond once per turn. Once per turn, you can send one Gemini monster you control to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one Gemini fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, which means you can do Lapis.
Okay. Yeah.
Or any of them that honestly, I think almost all of them say must be fusion summoned or must be fusion summoned with the materials.
So, yeah.
Well, Dallas can
Apparently
explain us the FTK.
Yes.
Okay, just first talk about the dual turn lore. Apparently, Sophia was drawn to all the fusion that was created and just absorbed.
Okay. Oh my god, sorry. Breaking news, guys. They've revealed what the third, I believe, archetype in the deck build pack is. The Earth one, which is Amazon S and definitely Mortronic because Power Tool is on it. Fuck archetypes. We're just gonna make Ishizu have cards now.
Oh?
Wait, what?
What does that mean?
Retrains of Keldo, of Mudora, of Agido,
Oh, they're actually gonna make
Gravekeeper's
Egyptian.
Trap.
So they're gonna make more Gravekeepers and then maybe like some like
A new
proper,
version
like,
of Exchange of the Hearts. They're gonna do Bomb
God.
Held by Fate.
Fucking more.
Okay, so they're literally
GM
gonna make a
nostalgia.
fortune teller
Oh,
archetype,
Christ.
but like not really.
No, and not really. They're not gonna make a Fortune Teller archetype. They're gonna make her cards from the anime, but more.
Oh.
Earth Fairies.
Bomb.
Oh wow!
I
Yeah,
swear to God,
actually-
the next person to complain about heroes getting too much support is.
Oh wow! Literally, oh my god! Literally retrains of all like these fucking classic fairies. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
retrains of
I
all the
used to
fairies
play-
she used and the new ones.
I used to play these because
How is
they're
this
actually.
Earth?
Oh wait, they also cross
Because
over
the
with
fairies are
fucking
Earth.
Grave-
They've always been Earth.
Oh, they are?
Always have been.
Yeah, Mudora's always been Earth, and Keldo and Agido. Yeah. I mean, it's
Wow.
fucking weird considering all the other Earth.
It searches fucking Exchange of the Spirit. The fuck.
Yeah, which is being reprinted. Anyway, we might look at that later. But anyway, Dallas, explain the FTK.
Okay, so FTK is basically through consistency cards and such, you get enough in your hand to get a Brilliant Fusion, or enough to summon a Lady Diamond. So then you go a Brilliant Fusion into Lady Diamond, use Lady Diamond to summon Lapis Lazuli, activate effect, then fusion the Lazuli into with the Lady Diamond and another Gem Knight into Master Diamond, activate Lazuli effect, and then basically you cycle between activating Lazuli and Master Diamond's effects.
Yeah.
This became significantly harder to do with Master Diamond Limited.
Mm-hmm. Which is and presumably why Master Diamond is still limited in the TCG, because
Yes.
because the TCG understands that the way our player base works is if you give them a legitimate FTK strat, people will try it.
The thing I kind of disagree with I disagree with Master Diamond being hit for the most part, for the simple fact that with Brilliant Fusion at 1, the FTK kind of sucks anyway. Because you gotta find one
I mean,
card.
that's the thing, right? In the TCG has Brilliant Fusion is just banned, and Master Diamond is still 1. In the OCG, Brilliant Fusion is at 1, and then Master Diamond is at 3.
Yeah, which I think is a much fairer way to put it.
And who knows, maybe with this, because there are going to be Gem Knight supports in an upcoming set, they might decide to let Master Diamond
If
out.
you just hit Verte, this FTK doesn't become that bad.
I mean, honestly, that's probably in our future anyway, because the OCG's already done that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't the OCG just hit Verte?
Yeah, that was last ban list, which would have been before this new Gem Knight support comes out, which we'll be talking about soon, but not yet. But yeah, I think there's some wiggle room in the combo, and we might actually see some movement on that in the not too distant future. Keep in mind, this is the same TCG ban list that was like one Lunalite Tiger is fine, 3 Skill Drain is fine. You can have Destrudo back.
You could have Snow back.
Snow's okay. So no.
To be fair, except for the skill drain part, I agree with all those shit. Honestly, even the skill drain part, because spoiler, skill drain has not done anything to any meta anywhere.
Well, no, yeah, skill drain's not a problem because the way Brave works, Adventurer.
Adventurer you go like Adventurer you go burr.
I am in a quick spell.
The only place that skill drain kind of sucks is if your opponent is just like, I play Eldritch, and it's like, god damn it.
Honestly, skill drain and True Draco annoys me way more than skill drain and Eldritch, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, that's fair, because they get advantage of continuous traps and spells.
Yeah.
It's almost like that probably wasn't a good idea. Actually, this will probably answer some of our questions lore-wise. Let's look at their Link monster.
Yes.
Phantom Quartz.
An actually very good Link monster for the archetype, which is not the thing you can say all the time.
By the way, this was called Phantom Roots in Japanese. I don't know what they were.
Oh god, this art. This Razafon-ass looking art.
Yeah, this is clearly
this fucking
an
platinum
shot.
end looking art.
We're making an action
Jesus
shot, right?
fuck.
Platinum and?
The Death Note, the new Death Note anime.
Okay.
Is it a new one?
Or the guy who made Death Note's new anime.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with Death Note, except, okay, tell me that I have to talk about this because it's the weirdest experience I've ever had. You know how a lot of anime are really good up until the ending?
Yeah.
I think Platinum End might be the first anime I've ever watched that is really shit up until the ending. Like, it's genuinely terrible in a funny way until the very end, where it gets really existential and good.
Hold on, Dad. I'm gonna send you a DM and ask if that's.
I mean, I feel like it's a lot easier to satisfy to salvage an unsatisfactory story with a satisfying conclusion, and it's a lot. Well, it's not easier, but it's a valid strategy. Whereas it's very easy to ruin a good story with a shitty conclusion because you don't know how to end it.
It's one of those things where it's like, the story was bad in the way that I like bad stories, like in the same way of Arifureta or this demon. Yes, it is. That's the one.
Trashy.
Okay.
Well, there's actually a very good reason behind that. And it's not everyone God commits. The guy who won commits suicide.
Yeah.
Because spoiler, to qualify for the battle royale, you have to be suicidal.
But this is clearly, very obviously, Gemini Crystal is shedding his mortal form.
There's also a dude running around in a Kamen Rider suit that just murders people.
That's not relevant to what I was saying, Dallas.
That's fine.
Yeah. But yeah,
This guy is like, I've come back from the dead to suck? Maybe?
Phantom Quartz is here to be Crystal shedding.
Golden locks.
Well, yeah, Crystal's always had that. It's just now it's the classic dramatic anime.
Actually, you know what? No, this looks like a JoJo stand.
I mean, as it is right now, oh, absolutely, yes, this is a.
I can't say what zone. No. This looks like a very specific JoJo stand.
No, but
that I can't
trying to think
about.
of like shedding the arm. But yeah.
No, the design of it looks like a stand that is upcoming in this new season. You should watch it. Stone Ocean's the best.
Part 6 is the one that's always like the whole memory because I know the rest, but
I love Part 6. It's my favorite, personally.
I love 7, but
7's good, but yeah.
I mean,
Anyway.
I may or may not have to read 7 because allegedly David Production has said that animating it would be a pain in the ass because they would have to hand animate all the fucking horses.
yeah,
There's so many
the
things.
first half and the ending is like full horse races.
Yeah.
Which, guess what, is a pain in the ass because they would have to do either CG models, which won't look right, or they have to hand animate all of them, which is
Or
hard.
it'll have to be like a motion comic.
I think they'll make it eventually.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, people have already joked about, like, because it was the 10th anniversary of the animation recently, and they did a trailer where they go from, Phantom Blood to the first half of Stone Ocean, and they brought up, like, how much faster that is moving than Araki's actual production rate, right?
Here's the thing about Part 6 and 7. I think that could be if they had to take, like, a couple of year hiatus, I genuinely think that's the best place it could happen.
Yeah, because
I assume that's what they
kind of
will do,
bookend,
is because...
Yeah.
6 wasn't that long after 5, and I don't think 5 was that long after 4. But I feel like, because I know a little bit about the context of like 7 being like an alternate timeline and stuff, like doing some creative things.
It was
as
a
Araki
reboot.
does.
It's a pseudo reboot of sorts.
Yeah, kind of a thing.
The main character is Jonathan Joestar.
Johnny Joestar. How dare you?
Johnny Joestar.
But it keeps the stand rules, right? Like that would be a good point for them to be like, okay, we got to take a break. This next anime will take us a long ass time to do.
It also lowers the scales of stands to make them where they're like more up.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
In 7, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Until you get to the end.
Stands are no. Stands are all. But here's the thing, Axe. Stands are always like that. Have you looked at like stands? Apart from Part 3, Araki constantly makes stands more and more focused. Like, you remember Part 5?
No.
There was a guy in Part 5 whose stand was just, I'm a shark in water.
Part 6 and 7 have more esoteric stands, but do not lie and tell me they have more...
Let me finish the point of being like, except, I can't remember its name for it, but like, except you love Love Train.
No, there's a lot of stands that make sense.
But like...
There's a lot of things that don't make sense.
But it's like it shifts from like, people that can stop time to like, where you only shift back 6 seconds.
There is actually a guy in Part 7.
I mean, if Araki finally
time
breaks himself of the time
time
habit as the boss's final move, that's okay. That's not necessarily an indictment of stands in general. That's just semi-spoilers, but that's a recurring theme that he's had since Part 3. And I don't actually remember if 6 has any of that, but it doesn't matter. I've seen Araki kill dogs for like 4 parts. I can guesstimate.
Don't worry. There is a character in Part 7 with the power of time shenanigans, but he isn't the final boss.
It's also one of the best parts of the entire
Well,
story.
he's not the...
He's not really...
the final...
He's an antagonist.
We're not going to get into the ending of Part 7.
We're not... That's fine, because there's a lot of it. I would have to read it or watch it anyway. We've gone on a big JoJo tangent here.
Before we end that, because I do want to finish this point.
Okay.
I would argue Part 8 is when stands started getting bizarrely specific.
Yeah, but also
I have heard
considering
that
the end
about...
of 8, it's gotten a bit too bullshit. But that's
I
the
love the ending of 8.
Let me speak of it this way. From what I understand, 8 is very much meant to be much like how 7 is supposed to be like referencing part 1 again. 8 is basically like referencing part 4 again. And if you'll remember, Diamond is Unbreakable is had some very esoteric stands. It had shit like Superfly and
fuck Superfly, yeah.
Cheap Trick, which is just a little gremlin on your back that kills you.
Except unless you send it to hell.
And
Well, yeah.
fucking a worse company.
Yeah.
Bad Company.
Bad
yeah.
Company.
Bad
I mean,
Company.
Worst
Actually,
Company is
to
a
be
good
fair,
pun. But Dallas, I would like to remind you before you go too far. Remember that the official that Part 4 also has the localization of Boy Man Man.
Boy Man.
Boys
Which
to
is
Man.
awful.
I don't get
Boys
why they
to
can't
Men.
say that.
The best.
Well, no,
the
because
best
Boys
locali-
to Men is the name of a band.
The best localization choice of all time, I do not care, will always be Dan of Steel.
I mean, Dad of Steel is just funnier.
That is
Yeah,
just
but-
so funny.
Like, man, okay.
No, I believe part.
Especially when you're in on the pun they have to make there.
No, I actually do believe that Part 7, it does have the reference to Part 1, but I do believe it's a send up to the entire thing, because there is a Higashikata in there is Avdol again, it's just, hey, remember all this shit?
I remember, because I remember
I guess
7 is
from what I
a
understand,
mix
7
of
is
part-
kind of a...
it's a mix of
Love
1 and
letter.
3, honestly.
It's a
and
mix
then
of 1 and 3.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, the character archetypes, like, it's basically like Araki's send-up of, like, all of his greatest hits, kind
Well,
of,
no,
like...
I say that because
actually,
I
no,
say that
it-
because Part 8 is a mix of 2 and 4.
Actually, no, you're right, yeah, because I was also thinking it has the parts, like, no, it has parts of 1.
So does that mean, if it's actually still called JoJo Lands, that would be,
Possibly 5 and 6.
5 and 6?
I don't know what
Oh
that
my
would
god,
look
that
like.
would be...
So,
what is that gonna
we got-
be like?
So criminals.
Very gay.
Wait,
The
wait,
most
Well,
gay.
you're correct.
wait,
Yes,
That's
it
the
will
two gayest parts. It
wait, it'll be
gayest thing
it'll be
ever made.
criminals and actually no, it would probably be about street gangsters, I guess.
I mean, it would make sense because 6 is mostly
It's
set
also
in a prison.
it's
and
also meant to be set in an amusement park.
5 is about crime.
Oh my god.
Wait,
No,
wait.
it's supposed to be set in an amusement park. So like, which
Oh,
works
Part
Dallas,
5
did
is
you
when
see that the guy
Polnareff came
said-
back. It's not JoJo Land, guys. It's Polnareff Land. Finally, he's accomplished his dream,
my
everybody.
God.
Anyway, we're gonna stop our JoJo reminiscing. Gemini Phantom Quartz is a link to.
Yeah,
It
that's
is an Earth
basically-
rock link. It has bottom pointing arrows, the 2 best arrows for a link to. It has 1450 attack. Its materials are just 2 gem monsters, so it is archetype locked. I did air quotes there. And it is a very good link monster for the deck. If this card is link summoned, add a Gemini card from your deck to your hand. You can pay 1,000 LP, fusion summon 1 Gemini fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its fusion monsters, fusion materials in your possession into your deck that are banished or in the graveyard. But it cannot attack directly this turn. You can only use each effect of Gemini Phantom Quartz once per turn. So Phantom Quartz searches you a Gemini card, which can include Gemini Fusion. And also it lets you pay 1,000 LP to just shuffle back the fusion monsters from banished. It helps you close the
so
circle.
you can then activate Brilliant Fusion again.
Yeah, well, no.
I mean, hypothetically,
Or I guess Scatter Fusion again this time.
well, I mean, the Brilliant Fusion's at 1 in the OCG, but no, it's just, it puts them back in the cycle. This is basically
Yeah.
Gem Knight's version of Parallel World Fusion, because Hero has had the closed loop forever. They've got regular Poly, they've got
Yeah.
Miracle Fusion, which
Despite-
banishes from graveyard, and then...
Despite the fact that because Yu-Gi-Oh is too fast, they never use Parallel World Fusion.
No, because you never get to that step. But hypothetically, you would go.
Yeah.
You can't actually, because I believe Parallel says you can't special summon. It's like Red Eyes fusioned, but you can go
Honestly, I do
fuse,
think
fuse again, bounce back, fuse.
I do actually think Predaplants is what broke Brilliant Fusion. Because before that, they did not have a way to search it. But when they got Verte and
Yeah,
Orpha
it is a fusion
Scorpio
card.
and
You can pitch with Verte.
Darling Tonia Cobra, it's... Well, that's a surrender. That's an opening hand that I... Okay.
All right. But yeah, so this is just a good-ass Link monster, right? Like, it's got all the stuff
Yeah.
you would expect out of Link support. It's technically archetype locked, but it lets you search on summon, so it lets you, even though you have to use 2 materials, it lets you basically go to
It
a
performs
+0
an
game
action that is not already able to be performed within Archetype.
and it performs an action that is actually relevant. You will have Gem Knights in your banished zone or graveyard for which to send to make fusion monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, this is like similar to oh god, what the fuck? Knight Orange, or what are some other good links that came out after the archetype?
Electromite.
Electromite. Oh, Electromite was almost true.
Yeah, the problem is Electromite is...
I'd argue Electromite is not that important in metal foes, almost.
Oops, sorry.
Like, it's good in metal foes because it's a pendulum archetype, but if you really look at it, it's not any better.
No, I would
Metal
argue their
Foes
Link
than other
1 is more
archetypes.
relevant to them than
Yeah,
Electromite
like-
is.
No, my bad.
Electromite's a weird kid. No, I understand, because Electromite is a good link in an archetype that came out
The
afterwards.
thing is
It's
that
just-
Electromite's effect is still purely generic. Just it's like regular metal foes. Just pop any card you want to do the thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Phantom Quartz here is actually like he only his second effect. His first effect only searches a Gemini card, and his second effect only fusion summons a Gemini card using materials. So it's
there's
purely
stuff, it's stuff like Mech Knight, or I'm trying to think. There's other cards. I just can't.
Oh, there
remember.
are other good-
Double Helix.
Double Helix,
I'm
yeah.
stupid. Double Helix is a great
That's a good
example.
link too.
That-
So let's
that
talk
is
about their
archetype
futures
locked,
aboard upcoming. I
but-
don't have great blow-ups of these cards, so we can talk about them. This is Brilliant Rose. This is coming out in Power of the Elements. It is not released yet, but this is
it
just
also support-
hey, what if Crystal Rose was actually a Gemini card? So this is a.
So it doesn't support Melodious anymore.
I mean, it still says it has the same Melodious things, but it doesn't. I don't think it matters as much. You can tell me if this effect is good in Melodious, maybe Dallas. But Brilliant Rose is a level 2 light rock like Crystal Rose, but it has a very important parenthetical text right at the top. This card is always treated as a Gemini card, so you can now search it in archetype, and it counts for fusions on its own. You can still. You can discard one Gemini or Melodious card, special summon this from your hand. You can only use Brilliant Foes once per turn. Once per turn, send a Gemini or Melodious monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. This card's name, type, and attribute become the same as that monster's original name, type, and attribute until the end phase.
That can be useful in some Melodious builds. It depends if they're using Transmodify or not.
It still has an inherent special summon, which can proc off Melodiouses. I don't know if Melodiouses want to be discarded at all, but it gives you extra bodies.
Like, it's not.
I don't think this. Clearly, I don't think this thing was meant to be as much a Melodious support as Crystal Rose. It is very
definitely.
obviously meant to be Gemini support, but they wanted to keep the theme of Crystal Rose. But because this is always a Gemini card, this means, by the way, this is a free special summon, so you can go into Phantom Quartz easier, because this is just an extra body, and it puts Geminites in graveyard. And
Speaking of
also,
archetypes that need more, that got a Link monster that was good. Melodious also did.
And then this lets you do name, type, and attribute, which can actually be important. We've talked about some of the fusions require specific attributes, so this is actually going to be a good card. I suspect that this will probably be like at least a 2 of, if not a 3 of, if you're trying to run Geminites in the future, because it's just a free body and
people will try.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it'll be, but they'll try.
So funnily enough, we also have, because there was Phantom Quartz, we also have Gemini Quartz. God, this has got a meaty effect. But I'll pull up the look so you can see. Very clearly a throwback. You know, we've got a level 4. We've got a kind of middling stat line. This looks kind of like Lapis or Lazuli, like comboing up before transforming into a Lady Diamond.
That or it's one of them grown up, so maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how that would work though, with because they would become. I guess they could.
I mean, it also has like Lady Diamond's cape, so it probably is just like free version.
I'm pretty sure it's just Lady Diamond or Lady Diamond fused with Crystal Rose.
I mean, design-wise, I don't think it's full. Like, I feel like this, because this is a main deck monster, it's not fused with anything, I don't think. This is just like an in-between step. It is actually
Quartz.
Gemini Quartz. Yeah, this is Quartz. We haven't gotten to Rose Diamond yet. Quartz is a Earth Fairy, level 4. If your opponent controls a monster, you can discard this card. Set 1 fusion continuous spell directly from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Gemini monsters. If this card is used as material for a fusion summon and sent to the graveyard or banished, add 1 Gemini monster from your graveyard to your hand except Gemini Quartz. You can use each effect once per turn. So this card yeets itself into the graveyard to set a fusion to search Brilliant or Scatter Fusion, but locks you into Gemini fusions, period, for the rest of the turn, so you can't get shenanigansy. And then also, if it's used as material for a fusion summon at any point, other than if you shuffle it back with Phantom Quartz, you get to get a Gemini out of your graveyard to your hand. So, pretty decent, right? Like, not a silver bullet, but definitely like the fact that you can pitch it to search the...
Still a 3-of you.
Yeah.
Still a 3-of.
I mean, I don't know for sure, because you can search pretty easily. No, I don't want to save, but it's definitely, like, got stuff that does things. And it would certainly be part of our Wombo combo into Gem Knight, Lady Rose Diamond, who is oddly enough not a rosy diamond, though I do believe there are pink diamonds.
It also has like the rose mixed with quartz.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely got some aesthetics of, I think, crystal in there. Because, like, you've got long blonde hair coming down and, like, the helmet. But also elements clearly meant to draw on quartz. Because this is a Gemini monster and a fairy monster, so. Now, I will say, this is clearly not meant to be a new final boss monster, but it's definitely, I feel like, trying to beef up your options. So, it's a level 8 fairy fusion effect, Earth, 2700 attack, 2400 defense. The first time a Gem Knight monster would be destroyed by a card effect during each opponent's turn, it is not destroyed. When your opponent activates a monster effect during your turn, quick effect, you can banish one Gem Knight card from your graveyard, then target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. So it's not really a negate, but it's got some interesting effects to, like, give your monsters protection on your opponent's turn. So they can't just, you know, drop a Raigeki on you or whatever. I don't really know what the best effect of the quick effect response when your opponent activates a monster effect. I guess if it's continuous, but it's on your turn, it doesn't stop hand traps, but I guess it can stop on field negates, maybe. Or at the very least, it can pop them.
On the floor or something.
I don't really know what to say about it effect-wise, but I still think it's basically, this is just Lady Diamond's, I guess, system. I don't really know what to think about it, because I guess it's just like...
Well, it's not Lady Diamond yet, because it's smaller. It's smaller in every way.
No,
you gotta remember the scale.
sister in battle, as in, like, they fight alongside
Yeah,
her.
I'm pretty sure that's just quartz with something.
Because I think it's quartz just powered up, so, like...
Yeah, but I
Give
don't...
it
This is but it's Rose Diamond. I don't think it's... You gotta... We send in levels. We don't have that many extra guys. But anyway, yeah, those are the new ones. We have been recording for 3.5 hours almost. A couple of fusion cards we can pull up the art from that we didn't talk about yet. Since we did, Gemini Fusion was over
I was going to
brilliant.
ask for the dumb thing of, like, talk about ritual thing. We'll talk about ritual cards all things, so never mind.
This is just my stone-faced silence of cricketing while I just stare and blink at X.
I was doing the dumb thing of, like, I guess we'll not talk about Vendred. Let's talk about that later.
Well, yeah, I said that would be at a whatchamacallit, like a capstone to a stream. This is not. There's no capstone here. We've done Gem Knights. We're victorious, but we're not quite done yet either, because I do want to throw a couple of the other ones on here.
Like, it hasn't been a bad ride. It's been a middling ride.
So we've had a rocky start.
Yeah, there was 10 minutes of something in there.
No, I meant rocky start in the terms of the art at the beginning was awful.
Oh, yeah. Also, the actual archetype had a rough start, yes. So this is Fragment Fusion, which I believe this is Crystal gets mad and turns into Zirconia. I believe is what this is referencing. So this
Also
is a trap card. Banish from your graveyard fusion material monsters listed in a Gemini fusion monster, then special summon that from your extra deck. This counts as a fusion summon, destroy it during the end phase. This was the first trap effect that did a fusion, because Necrofusion wasn't out yet.
I'm really thinking about also, like, very quick words, like, how many different versions of Crystal exist, actually? 5?
Ah,
A lot. He combo wombos into a lot of different guys.
we
But
did
it's like
mention
this-
Can Gorgon before. He
We
must
can
have
pull
been-
him up, because he's not technically in an archetype, yeah.
Anti-Luminous Knight. The worst thing is, like, this
Because he
card
does
looks-
look like,
He has a
Fuck.
few different parts of the Gem Knights.
Honestly, just to talk about like that one fusion card, of like it just makes me think of like that part in like a series where it's like the dark moment of our main character overcome by the despair of like all of their comrades dying and then just like kind of falling into their own mental pit.
Yeah, he falls into the pit of despair.
Okay.
Art-wise, I don't think this is very cool, but this is particle fusion. Send from your side of the field to the graveyard. With a comma, by the way. Send, comma, from your side of the field to the graveyard.
I just image you're cannoning gems at something.
The fusion material monsters that are listed on a Gemini fusion card, then special summon that fusion monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a fusion summon. When you do, banish this card from your graveyard to target one Gemini fusion material monster used for the fusion summon, and the fusion monster gains that monster's attack until the end phase. So particle fusion is a non-searchable Gemini fusion that just lets you only from the field fusion summon, but you get to make it bigger. It's not really relevant a lot, but does exist. The next one is the second trap card, which also features another incidence of really between Fragment, Pyroxene, and Absorb. A lot of these fusion cards, by the way, yes, Geminites do actually have this many fusion cards. A lot of these fusion cards are just Crystal gets bigger. Because, behold the card art for Pyroxene fusion.
I kind of want to say it, but he's basically just the Neos of Geminites.
That definitely seems correct, right? Like, he feels like he's just the core guy. Until we pass on to Lady Diamond.
Interesting that it's, like, Prisma Pulse.
Yeah, Prisma Aura. By the way, Pyroxene, if you don't know, is it's a mineral that can mineral family, which commonly forms various types of rocks. So it's like a category that can.
I have kind of noticed that like all of the spiral of gems, it's like there's actually very little repeats, kind of.
Yeah, I mean there are actually that many gemstones, so I think it is meant to be just like a huge variety of like all the stuff.
There's only like I think 4 or 5 repeats I'm seeing. The rest are actually like all different.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pyroxene Fusion is another trap card. This card says send, comma, from your hand or field to the graveyard, comma. The fusion material monster is listed on a Gemini Fusion card, then special summon that card from your extra deck as treated as a fusion summon. So Pyroxene really doesn't do anything interesting other than it just lets you fusion summon on your opponent's turn. I gotta be honest with the fact that Super Poly exists. I do not know why these are there's no quick play Gemini Fusion. It's all just trap card fusions. But definitely, I think there is something to be said for like you can just bust out an extra Gemini Fusion on your opponent's turn. I don't think Pyroxene's very good, but it certainly exists. And then to end out this madness, the new one. Behold, everybody, Scatter Fusion. So this is a continuous spell card. It's coming out in Power of the Elements.
I think this is my least favorite art.
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, sorry, not Axe. Axe was speaking. Dallas, compared to Particle Fusion, which is just gems fly at you. I'll admit this is a bit of a low-res render, but at the very least, I would like to point out you can see all the Gemini guys' faces in the actual card. Like, you can see, like, Lapis and Prisma Aura and Ionite and Amethyst and whatever.
Maybe it's just Quartz channeling the gem souls.
Well, there's a big diamond that's got all their faces in it. So, like, I think there's something
I guess
here.
it's better than Pyroxene, but that's not saying a lot.
So, I don't think it's very excessively cool, but I do think there are elements that are interesting here. Anyway, this is a continuous spell. If your opponent controls a monster, you can fusion summon one non-rock Gemini fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your deck as fusion material. Also, you can special summon monsters from the extra deck this turn except Gemini monsters. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. You can only use this effect once per turn. So this is basically, okay, you can Brilliant Fusion, but you can't bullshit Brilliant Fusion. Because it's the non-rock ones, so it's...
how many are rock? Like,
honestly, I think that's too much of a handicap to make it usable. Well, I'm going to be very real.
Because think about it, like Scraphanite, Like I guess all the ones the non-diamond ones are not rock.
I personally think if they just printed it with the second exclusion, I think that would have been fine.
I mean, the main thing is, I think what they're going for is, the main point is you can't, obviously it means you can't make Zircon, but the main thing is they want you not to use this to stack into Master Diamond or Lady Diamond easily, to just send any 3. You can still make Seraphonite because she's a, or you can't make, yeah, you can't make Seraphonite because she's a fairy. You can make Rose Quartz because she's a fairy. You can make any of the first 6 boys.
I don't know. I guess I just think it's a little bit overkill.
Mask Change came out before Geminites, but that doesn't... the reason why First of all, Mask Change is not an OTK enabler in that sense. You don't usually use it like that.
Mask Change is an OTK enabler in Duel Links.
You may be thinking of Mask Change 2 in the real game, because that lets you switch masked heroes. But
that's not even an OTK enabler. That's just... I have Darklaw now. Fuck you.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that because you can switch masked heroes into masked heroes, you can put large... Because it's the same level, right? It's just a different attribute. That means you can do multiple
same
large
attribute.
boys.
Same attribute, higher level.
Fuck.
There's any monster.
Mask Change? I believe there's one that lets you switch between attributes of masked heroes.
Yeah, there's probably
But
one.
no, Mask Change is not an OTK enabler normally.
Well, it is if you have 3, because you can mask change a hero into itself.
Yeah, I guess, but the only reason why you would have that is because you were probably in a dueling situation where you were trying to actually make that, because you're not...
Well, that's the thing. It works with literally one masked hero as an OTK enabler, which is Unki. Because his effect is when he hits a monster by battle, search mask change from deck.
Yeah, but normally you're not going to have that many guys in your extra deck. Like, you're not going to have 3 of a dude normally to do
I
that.
think there's just one called Form Change.
Form Change is the one? Yeah. Okay. But I remember that there was one that, because there's a lot of change cards, there was one that lets you actually swap the masked heroes around. But anyway, no, it's not. They would not be concerned about an OTK, oh, you get an extra fusion, because remember, you can just recycle Gemini Fusion. You could already cycle Gemini Fusion.
Yeah.
So,
also, I should point out, I don't believe Mask Change 1 ever got hit. It was only Mask Change 2, and that's because it gave so many decks access to Darklaw.
Yeah.
And it only got dropped to 1. No negative.
But yeah, no. Again, I don't. But now it feels like with the way Quartz is worded, they want them to have continuous ones, which is why. But so, I will say, I get what Dallas is saying, because it's you don't get the big payouts, because you can't do. I mean, the main thing is you can't do any of the problematic ones with Scatter Fusion. You can't do Lady Lapis Lazuli. You can't do Master Diamond. You can't do Lady Diamond.
Well, the problem is you can't play. I just don't think you can play Geminites functionally with all of those being restricted.
Well, I would like to point out, Dallas, you just can't make those with Scatter Fusion. Nothing says you can't still summon them that turn because you are only locked to Geminites. But
true, I just don't know if they needed the second.
Well, it's a target for Rose, because Rose, remember, lets you search it and set it, and then you can flip it. So, yeah, it's just I think it is a good support. I don't know if it'll make Geminites relevant, but this is absolutely them trying to make, like, okay, so clearly, like, because Brilliant Fusion, even in the OCG, is limited. Clearly, Brilliant Fusion is, like, too good because it lets you just yeet anything to let it be unrestricted. Yeah. How do we make this fair? Well, you can't make the ones that are problematic, and...
I'm just saying, I think they may have, like, overcorrected.
Well, we'll see, I guess, because, you know, it's not out. I mean, I don't think with 4 cards, Geminites will be relevant anyway. I do think that this is a good step in, like, giving them something in the vein of Brilliant Fusion without necessarily making the same mistake. You know, Konami often does that. They will replace cards.
Well, because here's the thing. It has 3 restrictions on it, which is rough for any card. Because your opponent needs to have monsters. So yes. You cannot do it on first turn.
Or you need to give them a token or something.
Yeah, but that's
Well, you won't be doing that. I mean, like, it's literally Brilliant Fusion, but, like, this card just reads, you are allowed to Brilliant Fusion, but you cannot FTK. If you FTK, we will take your knees. We will take your teeth.
Here's the thing. It also reads, you can't OTK, which is the only way Geminites are going to be able to do that.
No, you can OTK. You OTK on turn 2. Or, well, your turn 2, right? Like.
Okay, but it's a ridiculously hard OTK.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it is, but you can't OTK on the first turn anyway. So I believe the idea is because they have so many battle tricks, and again, this may be more of an OCG type thing. They may respect the battle phase more. I've seen so many Japanese players in Master Duel playing the big OTK decks, Blue Eyes, Sidra, Galaxy Eyes, that may be a much more legitimate strategy over there is just becoming swolled.
I guess my only thing is I just think they could, if they'd only put 2 of the restrictions, I just think the non-rock restriction is too much.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they did that, because they don't want you to make Lapis Lazuli the burn one, and they don't want you to just go into Master Diamond or whatever for free. Because, like, if that is arguably, because that's just send any 3 Gem Knights, if you can do that from deck, that is kind of bullshit. Just make a big guy, fish it out.
Yeah, but so many cards do that.
The main thing is you can still use this for the Seraphonite effect, because she's not a rock. But you whatchamacallit, you're locked into Gem Knights, so you can't use it as an engine outside of Gem Knights. Like, I don't think this is replacing. You're not running only Scatter Fusion. You don't do that. But this can certainly set you up the plays to keep doing stuff, and then it puts guys in your graveyard. And hey, if you have a board full of guys for free, such as if you're special summoning Crystal Roses by discarding, if you're normal summoning Quartz, so you can set a Scatter Fusion, you can make Phantom Quartz, and then you can just yeet guys out of your graveyard to make Master Diamond or whatever. Like, I think this is a good toolkit. I don't think it's going to make the deck, like, tier 1 overnight. I think it is a respectable option to, like, give them access to some of the things that Brilliant Fusion does without necessarily borking everything. Again, like I said, I don't know if it'll be good, but I understand what Konami is doing. There are definitely times when they have with those effects, like, not done that, but, like, they've overbalanced. But I don't actually know if this will be overbalanced or not. You know, you'll have to see. I suspect, Dallas, I suspect in the TCG, everybody's gonna look at these 4 cards and be like, oh, it still doesn't make an FTK? It's dog shit. Never play it. Like, the TCG has so little respect for the battle phase these days that I don't think they're gonna, like, nobody is going to try and make Gem Knights as a dedicated go second beat 'em up deck. But I think that's what Scatter Fusion is for. Because you want your, like, to get the most out of cards like, well, not necessarily the most of, for Topaz for sure, but there are a few cards that do actually interact with, you know, the battle phase and destroying monsters, so historically Gem Knights do want to do that. But we're going to pull up also, as our cherry on top, as Marth and Loth literally plan to do test games, we're going to pull up Karen Gorgon. The anti-luminescent knight.
Yeah, the guy who has Zirconia, Master Diamond, and Prismar's things.
Does he have Master Diamond?
Yeah, it's one of the arms and legs.
Oh yeah, I guess one of Crystal's arms is not normally crystalline.
I'm guessing it's just Zirconia, and then just, like, they went Evil Swarm shenanigans or whatever.
No, Evil Swarms are gone. There's no Evil Swarms left.
God damn it, I don't even know what
Karen Gorgon is just another gemstone, I think.
It's just a zombie.
There is actually a type of smoky quartz called Cairngorm. I think the main thing people are saying is this art looks a lot like El Shaddai Grista. So I have to guess Karen Gorgon is a Shadol in name only, or not a Shadol for name only. However, there's a phrase that would say that, but I've been doing this for 3.5 hours, and I, need some food and shit. So I don't. Whatever that phrase is, we're not gonna dwell on it. But this is supposed to be a Shadol version of Gem Knights. Basically, it looks like Core behind him is what the trivia page says.
Yeah, it's in between step.
Yeah, so like Shadol Core may have like inhabited the armor of the Gem Knights who are all dead, because it's just different bits and pieces, right? And then it becomes Grista, which also looks a lot like this. The Smoky Quartz effect definitely like applies. That is actually the color of its like various bits. Though God, the Japanese name is so weird. It's Ansenshi Kangorugomu. Cairn Gorgum, Dark Line Change Warrior.
I think I like the English better.
Yes, the Anti-Luminescent Knight. Yeah. But if you
just the fact that it's not Karen Gorgum.
Yes. Well, no, it's Karen It's so it's Karen Gorgon no matter. Well, they translate it as Karen Gorgon. I don't actually know, but the romanization is Kangorugomu. Which would make slightly more sense again because the Smoky Quartz is from Cairn Gorm in the mountains of Scotland. So if there's actually a Goru Gormu, but Cairn Gorgon sounds cool. He's Scottish laddie. But this is a rank 4, so you could argue this is kind of a funny counterpart to Pearl. It's a rank 4 that has the exact same stat line as Crystal, 2450, 1950. It's generic, much like Pearl. During either player's turn, when another card or effect is activated, it targets exactly one card on the field and no other cards. Detach an exceed material, target another card on the field that would be an appropriate target. That card/effect now targets the new target. So this has an actual effect, unlike Pearl, but it's a generic card you've probably seen a decent amount of because it's been reprinted a couple of times, and it's a good card because it lets you retarget targeting effects. But yeah, there's our last entry. That's a yawn big. As usual, Robin has showed up at the very end.
Yep. Yeah. You were looking for Shadol and everything but me, by the way.
Yeah, I guess.
That is what you were phrasing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honorary Shadol.
I'm Yanni. I think Honorary Shadol is shorter, but Robin is correct. That is probably the sequence of words in English I was attempting to speak poorly. But yeah, that's Gem Knights, including the new support. That's all 30-something of them with some extras in there. So, even though this isn't the longest stream I've ever done, I kind of feel like I'm dying. Probably
Yeah.
Like I said, I need to go get some food.
Gem Knights will kill you. That is a fact.
They'll punch you. They are punchy. But yeah, there's Gem Knights, guys. We've done it. That means, I guess, it's... Well, okay. Actually, this is a good question. Because Evil Swarm, I think, might appear before, but I think that should be next time. It would be in the Dual Terminal Saga. It would be Constellar.
Yeah, it'd be Constellar than Evil Swarm.
Yeah, Evil Swarm should be last because of just how they work.
Axe's gonna have a fun time. He likes Constellars.
I mean, technically, we should probably throw a picture of Sophia up on the screen last, but...
I mean, I can throw a picture of
And then there's this
right
fuck face. Just Sophia.
Oh, no, that's a YouTube video. I think that was a hard leg video of Tierra versus Sophia. I will search Sophia on the actual Wikipedia. That'll give me the correct card. Spoiler: searching Sophia. I think this wasn't a video game. I mean, I guess it was probably HA7, but yeah, it was in Night of the Stars. By the way, the way this card's name is printed in the OCG is existentially terrifying. I'll screen cap it in a second.
Okay.
Anyway, this is what the Mist Valley and the Gustos have under their mountain.
Yeah.
A
Big cow
bird,
lady.
dragon, bull, fish lady. Actually, no, I think that's just a dress. She's not a fishtail. She has feet down there. Send feet.
That's just a Bayonetta boss.
Oh, this is absolutely just a Bayonetta boss.
That is the end of a Kid Icarus game as well.
It's a lot of things. Hold on, So I'm going to show you how this appears in the OCG, the way they do the name. Don't save that. Just blah 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 blah. Sophia. In lowercase, and I'm just like, that's like deeply terrifying somehow. Like not even like all caps, no, all lowercase.
Elder God.
She looks kind of like she's wearing all the Gem Souls' bangles. But anyway, next time we will do the Constellar. So I hope you're ready for Omega to yell about space, and for Axe to want to yell more about Constellar cards, and for us to probably not have anything to contribute, because literally only Axe has ever played Constellars out of us in this setup.
I mean,
Hey,
I
did my
tried
Master
to
Music
play it for
finish?
like a week.
I did. Perfect timing. All right. This has been another fail portrayal for the books. Thank you so much for joining us to charge up our JO crystals.
Oh God, no.
I mean, that was the name the entire time. I'm not
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, you
I-
guys didn't
I
even
don't know
notice the
why-
stream name.
Yeah.
I read Joe Crystal.
Look,
No.
I don't know what JO Crystal is.
I could turn it to JoJo Crystal considering the fucking 15-minute diversion we had, but no.
Oh.
Anyway,
Sounds like I missed a fun one.
yes, we did. You should watch the somewhere in there. It's in the last hour. Probably the last 45 minutes technically. There was a
think it was-
JoJo diversions.
There were a lot of diversions today.
I mean, to be fair, we were suffering through the old Gem Knights, and then when we got to the new Gem Knights, it was like, is this the FTK yet? No. Is this the FTK yet? Yes. Now this is the FTK. But thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out Fail Portrayal regularly. We still got some time left on that Patreon poll. I do believe that UA is fucking killing it right now still. I think they've got 8 votes, which is the most of any.
Sports.
Yes, no.
Sports.
UA has 8, which is more than double the second places, which is Magical Musketeer and Mecha Phantom Beast both have 4. So, yeah. Now, there's still, like, a little under a week. So, if you want to support us at the 5 and up level, you can get access to that poll. You can vote for stuff.
Spoiler, when we're doing the UA, I will just be doing Jesse Ventura voice the entire time.
Hey, go for it.
Or different wrestlers, actually.
Oh, yeah, brother. I think that's the only thing I can do.
That's two different catchphrases.
I
Two
know.
different people in one.
I know. But I can only do it by saying both of them. That's
Oh god,
the
what
only
was
way
their
I can
what
summon
was
that.
their tag? What was their tag team called? Mega Powers. That's right.
I don't know anything about Shockmaster. Only
The Mega
only the
Powers
visual
explode.
effect of Shockmaster with the fucking bedazzled stormtrooper
The
outfit.
Shockmaster. Oh god, he fell on his ass.
That's all I got. We can make those jokes, and we can make many, many more jokes about sports when we get there. We can possibly talk about Air Bud, but
If Vesper's on, Vesper could talk about actual sports.
we would have to be careful. Like, that would probably turn quickly into one of our JoJo-style deferences, as Vesper probably could easily yell about baseball, and I would know
I
big
would
enough
just be
things.
I'd just be like, who's got my baseball?
Who's got my baseball?
How did
The
that
mighty
actually
Jeffy
be
has
so
struck
good?
out.
And
but
I am
We're wrapping up. We're doing the thing.
sad that Cyber Dragon has gotten the fewest votes.
Yeah.
Big sad.
Where's Quackamiru in that?
It's got 1, so it's not losing to Sidra. It is second to last, unfortunately, but it's not dead last. So.
Okay.
And honestly, like I said, the lower ranks are pretty close. It's like the most you got is 4, and then UA is just taking the ball and running with it. But you can fix that future past by supporting us on Patreon. And I will be the tiebreaker if there's a tie. So, but the poll will be over by next week, obviously. Or at least I think it will. It might not actually time-wise, but I don't know. If it's got like a day left, it's probably not going anywhere. But that may or may not be next week, depending on how we feel, or that will be the 26th. But it'll be somewhere in the next 2 weeks. But we should move on to Constellar, and if that's not too long, you might tack something else in there. Speaking of Power of the Elements, Axe alluded to it earlier. They did just announce new fucking Vendread support, which I don't think does anything, but it exists, so we should mention it.
It does exist.
Yes, it
That is
happened.
true.
I mean, I guess since we've already done Vendread.
I mean, I said this earlier off camera, because it's like 3 or 4 cards. I think it's 3. It's a new ritual. It's another new ritual spell. It's a new ritual monster, and it's a new main deck boy. We would probably just tack that on at the end, like support report style, like just like. And also in this news, this happened. So yeah, but tune into all that stuff. Make sure to tune into our Prague tournament. Go back and watch our previous episode. It was good. I know not a lot of you were watching the Evasion Vengeance one, but it is good. I can promise you, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is summoned somewhere in it. So watch it to find out where.
Gee, I wonder who would have done it.
And, well, I mean, it's very generic, so it could be anybody. And make sure to watch out for this week for the Destiny Soldiers episode, because...
And many dings were donged.
Marv just saw the deck of stuff I made from Destiny Soldiers, and it was awful.
Yeah.
There's a lot... This may or may not be another goop week. We might be gooping out.
Oh, you guys are gooping?
You guys are gooping?
I might.
I mean, none of my decks got moved by Destiny Soldiers. I don't know.
So, Dallas, I do need to...
Are you going to do what I'm going to do?
Me?
Yeah.
Why am I hearing... I'm hearing Dallas.
I mean, there's only one deck that David and Dallas share, that the D&D share, so I don't know. That might be funny with what I've got. I had to flip a coin for what deck I'm playing.
I promise that Dallas is probably not on the same exact version of my deck.
Yeah, my version of this is
but I did a coin to let everybody know how much I'm taking this week seriously. I did a coin flip for what deck I'm playing this week. I flipped a literal quarter.
I should probably roll it.
And I got the funnier answer. So, my match with David in round 1 will be funny.
No, I don't.
Yes, I hope it will. I hope it will.
Well, I mean, hopefully after me discussing the deck, chat will find it funny, but we'll see exactly how funny it is. But yeah, this will be another interesting one because I don't know if anybody, like, if you wanna jump to the Dark Lords or the D Heroes, sure, go for it. But I don't think anybody did. Let's just keeps making invites. It's like he's subtly telling me to end the stream.
Someone left.
Yeah, that was me.
No, so I thought my invite was balked. That's why I said that again.
But
you should have asked first.
Dallas, when you have a moment, I
need... Send me your deck.
Yeah, I need to...
Anyway, I'm going to end the stream. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye, and also go watch Skyward Sword, or Lucky will find you.
And kill you.